What you see is what you get.
WFNG.
Fly nerds. You see it and say it. Yeah, you see black excellence and intelligence we now combine. Fly nerds on the verge of connecting the minds. North, south, east, west over digital lines. Catalogs of the culture inside. Seen it with our own eyes. We done been through the trends and phases. The names and the legacy, the changing faces. We can't talk shop, only dealing the truth. You tuning in to the Fly Nerd group, so let the people's in. Yeah.
WFNG.
FNG.
Fly Nerd Radio.
Yeah. So let the people in.
WFNG. Fly Nerd Radio.
Okay, I had told you go ahead, but he was Nito was going.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it. I think no matter what, every person that's doing any type of business should make sure something is in their black people name. That's what I really mean. Yeah. And those black people that you trust and love and can count on, not the black people you can't trust. You know what I mean? Make sure those individuals, and I do agree with Taiwan, make sure you have some type of trust or some type of legal documentation showing it. But they literally said for the digital music and the copyright stuff, you have to write something showing that it should go to this individual. Otherwise, it'll just be floating in digital space forever. We're not going to use the word digital space forever. And
or a vulture might get it.
There you go. And do what they did
off of it.
And I think that's what they did. I think that's what they do to people like Fela. They tried to do that, but his family intervened.
They stepped in.
Right.
They tried to do it to Bob Marley as well. But, that's a good example because that whole estate, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Blackwell got all of that back to the family.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, you're right. We're creating timepieces that cement our legacy, but if it's not in the proper hands, that legacy can't, travel and matriculate in the universe anymore. So,
and in order to do legacy, you got to think about it from you can't think only about your joy in the moment. Legacy is about like squirrels. You putting away nuts for tomorrow, and we always think a legacy is like, I'm actual monetary value as opposed to the actual items that you leave behind.
The art,
art, because posthumously, as they say, most people's art that was not acknowledged or respected while they were living becomes something else after they pass away. And the last thing you want is for your family to not reap the benefits of your manager or, whatever distributor or whoever that you was involved with having some type of undisclosed minutia of a fine print inside of a contract that guaranteed that on your death, they are the sole owner of the property.
I'd rather you burn all my shit to the ground before it gets into anybody's hands. Like, that's Article 5 on my shit. If you don't think you're going to do nothing with this, light it up. Straight up.
That's real. That's real. And really, we probably should have statements. We should, in relation to having the trust and the whole concept of having your own separate entities that are the intermediaries and protectors of your shit. Clauses that relate to when our untimely passes, so that in those instances, all contracts that were related to me as a living entity are null and void. Like, nah, you was doing this before. Nah, this all go back to this person over here. This is who I want to go once I pass.
But the way that you really capitalize on it, you have to do it in a sound mind. And so let's say if you 22 and you're a young dude, you ain't got no kids yet. Your sound mind hasn't fully matured. So if somebody was savvy enough to pour in you and say, hey, your legacy, estate, trust, boom, boom, boom. And at 22, you develop it. But then once you become 36, you've learned so many things between that age bracket. So now you want to adjust some of the articles in there. Then about time you 50, you like, yo, I need to make a couple changes. So it's something that you have to put in place, but constantly update and adjust to make sure you fully maximizing it, because having a sound mind making decisions is completely different than somebody on their deathbed and posting up, making decisions. Because their decisions is just to leave something, but not a pathway for it to grow,
thrive.
Growing and thriving. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, all fly nerd and nerdettes, you are now in tune to the blackest podcast of the
There it
universe.
is. There it is. There it is.
WFNG Fly Nerd Radio.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
Peace. 2 fingers attached. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we doing
We are the Fly
tangents.
Nerd group. We talk about everything, man. It ain't no box tonight.
The culture. We talk
We
about
talk
the
about
culture,
Any culture, man.
not just any culture.
Yeah, man. We here today. Very special guest, fellow comrade, fellow necro, fellow comrade, man. Yeah, dude, from
The internet actually misquotes you in Taiwan. They have y'all as the 2 members of Unorthodox Poets Society. They got rid of DJ What. We're gonna make sure we call him DJ What, okay?
And
Call him
spell
DJ
his
What.
name properly too.
Yeah, call him
why
DJ
they
What
do that?
and Mr. Scourge. But
It's the
please, yeah, thank you. They
Yeah.
really we did this song together. Remember that song?
Right.
And then they made y'all the group just from that one song. I said, ain't that a trip?
They said,
Wow.
what DJ?
No, not.
Yeah.
Oh man. We
It's
talk
the one
about
everybody say, oh, you know, we was like that, and then I was talking about the jeans in the song, and then both of y'all rapped on the song. It is on Discog somewhere, but yeah, it's just a song with me, you, and Taiwan featuring Unorthodox Poet Society featuring Cosmo Galactus in Taiwan, but they made y'all Unorthodox Poet Society. I was like, they just do everything wrong on the internet.
This go back to that conversation about having stuff go where it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, that's all it is. You have to correct errors.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
The sergeant in arms is here.
Let's go down the list, man. Special guest here, fellow comrade, man. This is my G. College, we battled each other on some bullshit. It became like one of the best tag teams in the group. You know what I mean? Many nights at his crib, recording joints like what he's talking about. Yeah, man. It's the homie, man. Infinito 2017. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Yo.
Peace.
Greetings. Fly nerd group without the
Yeah.
wings. The little commercial dude said the buffalo don't have no wings.
Hell no.
Yeah. I'm Slapface Galactus, Hewitt in the chair.
And I'm Amby Warhol, the full ghetto alchemist.
Today we broadcasting live. Dave Galaxy, the infected Dr. Diaspora, the blackest show today. Yeah, don't let them know. Under all of this caramel color flesh,
Here we
a
go.
black statue.
You're onyx.
I look like one of those. What he got back there and Black Panthers back there on that shelf, boy.
See?
No, with the claws.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. Let's talk about these. Who is that? De La? Who is that? Or is that just randoms?
What?
The art behind you,
Randoms. That's
the
my
faces.
That's his.
Oh, those are definitely random faces.
Okay, random faces.
Nico collection.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of that back there, because that's just ill. All of that.
Too bad I can't move this camera, but yeah, I made sure I wanted to have something on the wall because sometimes my walls are bare, but I knew. Yeah, boy.
No.
See?
We got
Minimum is nice as well.
It is.
Yeah, I'm minimalist.
Yeah.
Feng shui. What is it? Feng shui.
Infinito, man, what's good, bro? So that's your art. When did you discover like just your art and just painting and stuff? Not even the music. Like, were you drawing first or was you making music? Like, how did all of that develop?
Dang, both. Always.
Okay.
I think I've been doing art since I was like 8 years old. I always shout out Mark. If you hear a song with me and Fat Nice, Dixmoor, Illinois, We had Mark for president. Mark and Fat Nice were the two people that got me into drawing because, you know, we thought we was graffiti artists. So we would have our little pad and draw. But also, as a little child, they would give us like paper to draw on and scribble. So always been doing art ever since I was a child. And I think it went right into how hip hop is. So from 8 to whenever hip hop came into my life, because Fat Nice was always in hip hop. So that's all I know was drawing and breakdancing or trying to draw graffiti lines or do something like that. Because you looking at it from the outside in, you don't know it. You just seeing it. So everything with art and everything was just childlike. Now, I didn't start off with cartoons. I always make sure I quote that part. I started off drawing like black people stuff. I thought the guy on Good Times with JJ. So it was Ernie Barnes art. So that's how I got into art, through like black art. And I said this as another quote. The logo on the Stony Island Queen of the Sea, that type of thing, like when you first pull around Stony Island. Yep. So stuff like that, just seeing these different images and stuff is what got me into art. So I've always been drawing. I don't really know no other life, you know. And
so we talking in the 80s. So even at that time you was doing early black art, did you feel at that age, compared to your contemporaries in school, that you were doing something different already? I mean, were you already comfortable in knowing, okay, I'm drawing what's reflective of me?
I don't think it was a concept. It just is. I think when you black, like we were, you know, how we grew up,
it's just
we
natural.
didn't see nothing but black stuff. So you didn't separate it as a different part of life. It was like, oh, black. But you know when it got separated? When you did go to school, when they did start teaching you art, they distorted your view of what actually was. I was teaching a class recently, and they gave me the curriculum to work from. And the curriculum said they have to use these quote unquote masters. And in my brain, y'all know what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, these ain't my masters.
Who designates them as masters?
Dude, and you know, because you went to school and you took art appreciation, they said it then. And when we was, you know, early, whatever we were doing creatively, they always told us that, be it Van Gogh or like not Warhol, no pun intended, but whoever was the famous Caucasian artist, that's the person we should look up to. But I like Charles White, Ernie Barnes, Horace Pippin, any black artist you can imagine. You like Jacob Lawrence, you like this what he like. And you knew who they were before you ever knew their name. You're like, yeah, this is familiar to me. This is what I like. So
So you had conflicts with like school because you went to art school, art institutes all the time, and these teachers trying to tell you what it is. And you on the other, you on like, yo, what's going on?
I thought you got the text, Cosmo. So here go the truth. When I first went to school,
conflicts out the gate, day one.
When I first went to art school, y'all could go back to grade if y'all want to, but when I first went to art school, that was the conflict. Me and you did a song about it.
Absolutely.
Cosmo, everything is on record.
Yes.
What did boy say? Tash, every move is documented. Everything is on record, dude. I told you on that song. They said this is not black art. I mean, black art is not art. That was their first quote.
That's what they said to you?
That's what they
say. My grandmother helped.
Hey, that reminds me of what they said to Malcolm when he said he wanted to be a I forgot what he said. He wanted to be a lawyer, and they was like, nah, you want to be a carpenter. What about that? Jesus was a carpenter.
Dude, I first met the guy in the hallway. It was me and another brother, Keith. That's my homie in Atlanta. We do art together. We were standing there talking to this dude. This man told us in our face, he said, black art is not art. That's what he said. White dude. You talking about somebody wanting to slap somebody. King of slaps over there. Dude. And like I said, if you grow up and that's what you think and that's what you know, how can you think otherwise? I never had to be taught how to be black. You know what I mean? It was a way of life. It's only one thing. That's all I know.
Just to be yourself.
And some dude telling me this, and I'm being nice calling him a dude, but you know, like my grandmother just walked over here to y'all little admissions thing and paid that money, and this is the crap I gotta receive. Dude, I think I made it through like the first semester just out of spite, because we had constant debates with the art history class with the same problem. She was telling us the Greek started everything. The Romans started everything. She literally said it out of our mouth while showing us columns. It came from Egypt.
Right.
But then they never derived Egypt from Africa. This was their logic. So they have people in college and higher education paying their money being lied to. That's how it starts. But I refuted it, never honored it, kept doing black art, as y'all know. And just like the reason why we call ourselves black people in America, we have a certain code of ethics and communication and language is the reason we do it. We're not lacking identification. We don't lack the understanding of who we are. This is just who we are and how we talk. We using, every bad situation and making it better. That's what black derived from us.
Right.
So everything we saying is black is not like we lacking familiarity with our heritage or our lineage. We don't lack that part. What we doing is standing on something. Like, okay, you're going to say we not anything. Guess what? Black is everything. So that's what black art come from for me. So there you go. So yeah, go back to your question before you get off.
He dropped that little dynamite stick
and darted off. That's dope.
No, but you touched on something real, because ultimately, and Kaz can attest to this, that's why Fly Nerd Group exists in the first place. Because we were tired of being identified by what they wanted to identify us as.
On all levels.
We was not recognized for our own self. So we said, all right, we gonna play on the nuance of what you think, what you identify with, because they always make the comments, nerds of this, nerds of that, but nerds run the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we said, nah, we gonna take back that nuance of being, number one,
motherfuckers anyway.
Right, we run the world.
Every time I see y'all show, I just think intelligent black men.
There you go.
I don't even have to use, their connotation for everything, because everything we say and do, they distort it anyway. So y'all could keep distorting it like y'all doing it. Fly Nerd Group, you know what I mean? So I feel you. Yep.
Yeah, taking control of the narrative.
That's right, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's get it cracking, man.
Let's start off with the obvious impacts of this past week. The debate.
Okay, let's go.
Oh man.
Yeah,
they eating the dogs and the motherfucking cats.
They eating the dogs and the cats, and then after they done with that, they go get abortions after the baby's born.
Yeah, after 9 months.
That's just the hot topic distraction for the time being, y'all. Straight up and down.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, it's like I plug in and I'm still seeing dogs and cats, and like, really?
Just for educational purposes, let's do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
One of my main studies is propaganda.
Word.
When I first went into art, I said, ooh, what's the weird philosophy to why everything is so distorted and promotion and advertising is so important? Propaganda.
Lenin.
So we're talking about, like Davis knows, Russia, China, Korea, Vietnam. These are the type of propagandas I study. But inside of each one of those, let's say it's Vietnam or World War I and II or whatever, we always had those black soldiers in it. So they always clowned us throughout, be it the Boer Wars or what is happening in South Africa. They're clowning us in art. We're made a mockery of. So that's beside the point. But people today are so ill-informed and lack the research and analytical skills, they fail to realize all of this crap that they seeing is propaganda.
Right.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Because they don't understand that they prisoners of war, in an ongoing war. It's an endless war with black people. But black people, the people that don't know that they're in a war, they actually think everything is okay and copacetic. And one day, if they get the proper LLC or the proper job or the proper car or the proper, finance opportunity, that they're going to be accepted by their oppressor. Like, oh, I made it, man. Look at me.
Come on in.
I'm one of the good ones.
I got it. Oh, they help me make. And that's what you're seeing when they mocking all of this stuff with the cats and dogs and all this stuff, or be whoever the president is, when the actual people should be separating themselves and creating a whole new political party almost 25 years ago and running with that. But since they want to be so inclusive and they forgot history and they forgot propaganda and they forgot the civil rights movement and they forgot Jim Crow, They forgot the Black arts movement. They forgot the Harlem Renaissance. They forgot everything that we would consider Black things that make us think or intelligente, because I'm not talking about the bourgeoisie. Davis, no, I'm anti-talented 10th. I'm
WB versus Booker T. Here we go.
Man, they could be deleted from Earth. We talking about even in those groups, even if you're talking about in the Harlem Renaissance or the Black arts movement, you still have those type of people involved. But I'm just talking about for whatever righteous reason, all the way into the 60s with the Black Panther Party, because Emory Douglas is one of my favorite artists. I'm always looking at it from those points of views and understanding that's where we stand. And we have to be about something. That's how we can go forward. So don't tell me about no cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. But so since Black people like to be a minstrel show and make there you go.
The world is a stage.
So a lot of us want that because that's all we know. So some people, you can't judge some of those people, but we know some of those people are elitist enough to accept it and help the influence of that.
Right. Some of them are just as ignorant in high places, but then there are some that are fully aware of their choices, their actions, and the consequences of how it will affect us. Yeah.
It's like the what's her name, Angela Rye or Clarence Thomas. Which perspective of it are you gonna look at when they feed you propaganda nowadays? You know what I mean? Because they're gonna give you all of it, but which part of it are you gonna comprehend and work from?
Right.
It's like my father used to have a Chicago Defender, and I used to collect them. I still got a bunch of them because we knew it was gonna go out of business. We knew, those of us who are documentarians and collect Black history, we comprehend everything that's about us is eventually gonna be eliminated. So we have to keep a feed on who we are. But I used to always look at those political perspectives, even back then through Chicago. This is early 80s through the 90s, because after that it was gone. It was gone. It was all digital media when we get to the early, the middle 2000s. But we have to be the ones who keep our foot on the neck of the problem.
Right. So I know for a fact, just historically, you use your art as the counter thesis to propaganda, because you tend to incorporate you basically incorporate all the Blackness, all frequencies of radioactivity in the universe, all spectrums of light and electromagnetism, all embodied in your Blackness. And even besides this art that we see, like, let's talk about culture power. We've had little minor hints and, little past conversations, but let's really talk about culture power and what that was about and why you did it.
Black Swan Records, King Records, whatever Black record label existed in the past, watching documentaries like The Band Called Death, you sitting there seeing all these things occur and your brain is like, yo, we got to make sure we keep documentation of ourselves for the long run. Because even when I look at it all the time, Lifelong called me, he got a tape I just helped him put out. And I'm always thinking like, this is just collecting files, making sure people can have audio files of the past for us to see who we were during these periods of time. And me and Taiwan talk about it all the time. If we don't document it, who will? I used to always tell you that, Cosmo. I'm like, yo, you got to come back out with your first album. Techno Fabulous, do it, man, just for the sake of history. Because without you documenting it, it don't matter. Without us documenting it don't matter. Look at everything we see in the history, even in Chicago, or if you in Cincinnati or LA or Seattle, anywhere you Black, you the only people that get to keep those records. Because otherwise it's going to be left to somebody else to do it. And what I looked at in Memphis history, be it Stax or High Records, or in Chicago with Chess Records, Brunswick, or whatever you got, you sitting there at VJ Records, you like, wait, if these people didn't really keep up with some of their stuff, they sold their labels out to these larger establishments, like Motown did, etc., and all the labels out of Philadelphia Sound, etc. You sitting there like, man, if they kept all their stuff, boy. I remember one time Taiwan showed me, and the only reason I got to keep quoting because he's sitting there, he wasn't there. I just think, but he did.
Don't do it.
But he did. He showed me with the Jet magazine, the Ebony magazine closing down, and we know some of that stuff went over to Stony Island Art Bank. But I'm sitting there like, dang man, we have to do it, because if Theaster Gates didn't keep that stuff in there, it would have just been eliminated.
And he only got a fraction, because a lot of that stuff got thrown, literally tossed in the garbage. I'm talking about. I'm seeing Lena Horne pitches that's 12 feet tall
What?
Jeez.
Like just and I trust me, I got a gang of books out of there, but as far as the legacy, it would have just got wiped off. I mean, a lot of people's success come at the destruction of others. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So, if they can wipe us out, you can be successful.
Right.
There's no harmony in that shit.
Jeez.
I hope that answered the question.
He drops bombs.
Wait. So
Record Row in Chicago.
yeah.
Curtis Mayfield.
Abner.
Yeah, Motor Row.
PJ. And it was right there on Michigan. Right there as you're going downtown with a South Loop.
It's still there.
Is it still there? Come on.
Well, not the but there is still proof.
It's proof, but it's only through documentation. And I was teaching a class on the history of hip hop to students, but I said, let me just start from scratch. So I went all the way to Clarksdale, Mississippi, Greenwood, Mississippi. I went through the blues, but then I came up to Chicago with the soul, and that part of the soul is what blew their brain, because they sitting there like, all these people exist doing this music like this, and I'm sitting there like, wait, so we got an entire generation of children that have no connection to even 20 years ago or 15 years ago or 30 years ago. Like they have no access to none of this stuff. But think about this. Their parents, who would be our age and some a little older, didn't tell them.
Didn't tell them. They forgot.
Yeah. But they didn't know either.
They didn't know. That's the thing.
See, we look at this generation of whatever hip hop is or whatever they call it right now, because it's not necessarily true, authentic hip hop. It's just a variation of it.
It's pop music.
So that's why it's like essential
K-pop.
for you guys.
Yep.
So that's why it's essential for you guys to do vinyl, you know what I mean? And just keep that physical essence of, documentation keep going.
But it go to the hip hop part too, because you still had the Raucous and you had the Stones or you have whoever else. Like I always shout out even whatever Tone Be Nimble or the Molemen did with vinyl. Because when I first saw vinyl at Gramophone or Dr. Wax, etc., I was like, I'm pressing everything. There's no way in heck that I'm gonna make this music and not press every single element of it just for the sake of time. Just like what we call a time capsule. Everything we made, I have a copy of it for the most part. I'm probably lacking I got 99%. I probably don't have 100, but I got 99% of it for the sake of that. And I will want any artist, especially our people, to make sure they do that for themselves, because the other people naturally going to do that for themselves. When I was younger, I was around cats, all type of white dudes. You would go down to Cincinnati to Scribble Jam or whatever, or up to New York. White dudes was already doing all that stuff. It was normal. Black dudes didn't really
How did you feel about Scribble Jam and all that shit?
Lord,
just retrospective.
Christ.
I didn't like that. But anyway.
So what am I answering? For Coach Power 45, are we holding this thought coming back?
Yeah, we on that thought. Let's go with that thought.
So come back. So
we put a pin in that one.
Scribble Jam. You know how I felt when you was in the car with me a few times. Come on, man. So I would get there and be like, dude, what is this? This is not how hip hop's supposed to go. Like, where are we?
Yeah, this ain't what it looked like.
Bizarro world.
No, but the simple fact it can be influenced, and it did make it there. And we knew Juice was there, and we knew Rhyme Fest was there. And you knew cats that you like in your city was there representing all the way to the battle. Remember we saw Rhyme Fest battling Swan, I think that was his name, from Detroit.
Wow, yeah.
I'm sitting there like, that was still good. So we was there from the beginning of it pretty much to the end of it. But the fact that Black Cats was still there. I remember one of my great moments, we was out in the park, and one of these black DJs started playing Dead Prez record, the whole record. I said, this is a great moment in my life, because this awkward place I'm at in Cincinnati, Ohio, and now I get to hear Dead Prez out in the park. Wait, I had my what is it called? Rock Creek Park moment right now. So doing it after, doing it in the park. Oh yeah. Rock Creek Park. You know what I'm doing. So that's how I felt when I heard that record. I'm stupid, man. But that's how I felt when I heard that there. And Ed OG was out there and he was vibing, and we, you know, you bumping fists with cats like that in that type of environment. But it was what it was. A lot of it was hip hop, a lot of it was graffiti, a lot of it was DJing, a lot of it was battle. So it still had all the authentic
intangibles. Yeah,
you go. So that's what I liked about Scribble Jam, and definitely what I liked about Rock Steady. But what I learned, I spoke to some of the people who started the hip hop museum in the Bronx right now.
Okay.
And everybody's still documentarians, and it's still our folks involved, even with the Smithsonian or whatever you're doing when you're collecting. Our people are involved. They're not just as raw as I am with things. So I think when I create something, back to Coach Power 45 or something, I would do it more raw. I just do things because, you know, I feel like doing it. They do it because they have a certain code of ethics and a certain grants and certain things that they have to keep up with to kind of do the business that they're doing with.
They got to keep their diversity quota up.
Yeah.
But then some stuff just doesn't need to be explained. I mean, you know, if we want to talk about, you know, creation of life, you know, we in real time. Actually, we're not even operating in real time. This whole conversation is in the past. As I'm saying things, it's trailing off. I'm in the future. You know what I'm saying? So we don't always have to explain things. Culture Power was created to empower. Pretty much that's the base, the undertone of it. But it's also to document, you know what I'm saying? Empower and document, and to be unapologetically Black for no apparent reason, because we need to understand, you know, pride is something you should walk around and carry with your head up high and your chest sticking out, you know.
Regardless.
Regardless if you winning or losing, what is winning or losing? If you simply existing, you won, you know, and sometimes cats just need to have an opportunity.
Dude, that's where I was going.
Just to exist. If you know somebody believes in you, just a slight hint, that's enough to keep you empowered for 7 months straight. And you that might just be what it takes to get you over the hump. That's what Culture Power is.
And we had many conversations on the phone, me and Taiwan, a lot of them, where we would sit there and say, yay or nay. He know me, I was yay on everything just for that reason. Because like what he said, you know, a cat sitting somewhere in funk Nashville, outside of Nashville, Tennessee, or in some part of Mississippi, or cats in Florida. We know dudes all over this United States and in Africa and in Black folks all in Europe and stuff. And we know we got cats in Japan on this label just because of what he just said. Because we know if you can help somebody document themselves or create a tangible thing for themselves in the long run, that's what it's all about. Because if you watch any of the documentaries, like I said, the thought of it is always thinking about Stax record or you know, High Records or any of these major record labels.
From Stax Records, like you said, to a stone's throw, you know, it's the same.
The right to self-determination, basically.
You want to make sure you keep that for your folks and your peer group at the same time too. And them to go do it too without being like you. Because we're not like nobody else. And those people aren't like anybody else either. They're being their individual self. Because even if you look at the spinoff of whatever Stone Throw, the Rap Cats, and look at the two things, they're pretty different. Because I saw one of the labels is now putting out old Memphis underground music off of tapes on vinyl. You know what I mean? Stuff we did, but they're doing it their way. Everybody got their way of doing some of this stuff, but ours was more, like Taiwan just said, heartfelt, sentimental, because it was a peer. It was an individual sitting in Texas somewhere, chilling at his house, and we like, you good, we got you. We got you. Some dude sitting up in Kansas City somewhere, we got you. Some dude sitting in Oregon, and y'all know the history of Portland. We still got you, my brother. I know Ambi know like the history of Portland. So if you were in Northern California, Southern California, South Side of Chicago, North Side of Chicago, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, you know, because I know my man Rashid Hadi got roots in Jackson, Mississippi too. And then in Alabama, we got folks from Alabama on the joint, Florida. And we work with cats from different labels over the course of time in our own lives, working at different distributions, you know, working with Fat Beats, knowing how stuff go with how they do things, putting stuff in the stores yourself and
set the template for you to keep it moving.
You know how hiphopsite.com and all these sites we had to follow all man.
Yep.
Man, so we use all of those models to benefit our own understanding of how we're going to do hip hop from our vantage point. And I think anybody that's doing something like y'all doing this, y'all are documenting something from y'all vantage point. Like you said on the intro, Flat Nerd Group, and I said intelligent black men, same point. Bam. Document this stuff.
And that's what I've been doing. Even like if I'm not making music, photography. You know what I mean?
Photographer.
Yeah.
Remember the first book you came out with, and I said, what I do? I called, dude, we got to get this in the library. First thing I did, what I do?
In the library.
What I do? Dude, I move black people, man. I make black people happen, man. Shoot, I don't stand in the sun every day for no reason. Dude, I can be 116. I'll be the only person out there. I'll be like, yes, this is real life. Because, man, like my boy Keith said, you know what, Marcella? They got some black people scared of the sun. I said, whoa. Yeah. I do it for that reason. Come on, man. Come on.
Love it, man.
Trafficking blacks for success.
Hey, that's ill. People's instinctive travels.
Man.
That's right.
And it's interesting because everything you saying, and it's a lot of that, we watching people even now to this day that are artists, that were artists as early as you guys were artists, and some artists longer than you who are still in battles for the rights to their music, battling old track records and, still trying to get money that they're owed, money that they're due. And it's all centered around the fact that, it was the labels that we own were dismantled and scattered into the wind. They hoped you forget. They hoped that you forgot, because these are the legacies that then will inspire the next generation to do a culture power. And had we paid attention to what happened with Chess Records and all those other record labels before, then half of these artists that are out there we know would not have been trapped in the deals they were in. It would have been Common putting Kanye on a label instead of Common ending up on Ye label when Common was out, 10 years before him?
Before him, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I'm 100%.
It's no power moves, man. And
but you don't have no love moves. See, one thing with being black, you actually have to love other black people and love yourself to actually feel like that. Like one thing I learned about life and just constantly growing and elevating, you can't have an ego. You cannot be self-centered. You can't have nothing before helping.
Right.
The first thought is to help.
Acts of service.
That's another brother. That's another dude. He just like me. He probably went through something I went through. I got an email today, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, I don't even know how to tackle this email right now, but I want to help. Now I can't help like I did 5 years ago, but I definitely could lead a dude in the direction of finding the help that he needs. You know what I mean? It's always a way to, if you love who you are and you love what you look like and you love what people stand for in it, because everybody ain't the same. Now we got that down pat. So once you get the discernment of people that have sold themselves out and they're willing to sell each other out, then you get rid of them folks. But those who have that self-love and that self-refinement, you start helping and building off them, even if they don't understand it and aren't able to do it. Because I know y'all too, dudes, Taiwan. What do I always say? Help somebody else the same way.
Right.
If you do not help somebody else, man, because otherwise that's a waste of time for me. Because every time you give somebody $50 or $1,000, they can't pay you back the same way. But maybe they could pay to help somebody else with some science or some information or, something that you could do that could help them. It could be a job.
Right.
We share job information amongst each other. We share everything amongst each other because we never know which one of these resources might help the other person.
That's a fact.
Dude, okay, Cosmo, on everything. How many emails I done never sent you saying try to do this?
All the time, man.
Come on, man. I have to stop because I'll be like, I don't know if he even care about all this crap. But it's like, it's not about that. It's like what I said when I called the library for you. Because it was everybody book that come out, I've tried to get in the library. Because I think that's a resource that kind of expands beyond us. Dude, they got libraries in Berlin and Switzerland and Africa and all over the world where people can see all of these different things we do in a bigger light. They're like, yo, this is resource. This is information. It's bigger than this.
There are laws to protect the library. So that documentation will sustain. It's not going on.
But even without that, see, you got to go a little further. A lot of times you have to keep doing it yourself, because we see where they're going with the laws, and y'all's talking about people talking about dogs and cats. Yeah, we know them folks. So we know how they think. They're trying to eliminate you, period. Back to self-love.
Be right to history. And
back to self-awareness.
Right.
You do it regardless. Y'all do Fly Nerd Group regardless of whatever the situation is, because you're not doing it for them or the history of them.
Right.
You teaching some little black kid right now, they sitting there watching this, like, because we all saw some dude doing something. We was little on the box or something. I remember Fat Knight said he saw Prime Meridian performing with Black Moon. This was a long time ago, early 90s. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I wonder what that night was like in that.
I was just about to bring up Fat Nights. How you doing?
In the crowd. He was in the crowd watching Black Moon, but he saw a local group called Prime Meridian in the process. And he just told me, he said, dude, these dudes were so dope, man. They was dope, man. They from Chicago like us. I was like, oh, man, dude. Because you know how he tell his stories. You be like all into him. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
We all of this stuff passed the buck, like Taiwan said. You pay it for it. You pass the buck. Heard it through the grapevine. If you ever took African-American literature, you got to know your story. You got to know your people. You got to care. I recently taught a class at a college, and it was about English, just basic literature. And I was like, I don't like some of these rules. Y'all know me. Everything I got to make my version. So I said,
blacken it up.
Man. So the first thing I did, I said, I don't want to teach that. So what I did, I thought about two things I like. African literature, African-American literature, or whatever, black literature, black storytelling, black narrative, and I thought about black painting. So I picked Carrie James Marshall, and I found a person from the Harlem Renaissance that I never wrote about before was Arnold Bontemps. So I said, ooh, I'm going to juxtapose both of these things into a writing for this class. And I had one of those diverse groups, because y'all know on my alien planet that I live in, you know.
I know.
Here on Mars,
yeah.
I have a diverse audience, you know.
Vortex.
So vortex of distortion. So
copyright.
He definitely the TVA.
Man, no, but it wasn't difficult. It was just taking what I knew, and it was easy to teach that or give a lecture on something like that over something I didn't understand. So because it would have took longer if I didn't understand.
Because then you got to figure all that out, and you don't even want to know it anyway.
I do. I think
you do want to know it?
My father always said that. He said, if you don't know them, you can't get anywhere. Keyword. If you don't know them, you can't get anywhere. We're going to call it get anywhere. We just changed it up. If you don't know them, you can't get anywhere.
No, that literal and
he got it. Taiwan got it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure.
Father,
we all
father
study.
passed away. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it, you know, they were studying us for like 20 years in Sierra Leone before they even made an attempt of contact. So
Song High, all of them.
Yeah. But we couldn't be mastered unless we were studied.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You master what you study. So if cats really paying attention, hey, switch your vocabulary, switch your programming, and understand sometimes
Ghostface
you gotta
be trying to show you. Ghostface,
you gotta lose. You gotta let go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are not willing to let go. And that's one thing. And this is just to add on to his cipher right now with Culture Power.
Go ahead.
There are no rules. There's nothing we're not willing to do to help a black dude achieve his version of his success through his art, through his proof, to show his proof, to hold a tangible piece, a physical piece, and say, I existed during this bracket of time. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And we've taken losses, you know, whether it's financial loss, whether it's time loss. Dealing with motherfuckers.
Man, he just cursed. He know I don't curse. He said dealing with
you know. But we've never. It's passion. Like whatever we said we was gonna do for somebody, we did it.
You do it from the heart.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't to gain. We've never set out to gain nothing. Ain't nobody buying no Nikes. Nothing. Right. The thing is, you got a project, you want to put it out. The knowledge that we've gained over all these years does us nothing if we don't share it. Plain and simple.
That's the very nature of knowledge.
So when it comes to the artwork, you motherfucker, y'all kept it black as shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, your wall alone right now. It could be a cover, you know. I appreciate all of that because from your end, you know, it's the art, and then you have Ty over here that does the art as well and do the whole package and shit. I've seen many nights he's packaging shit up, man. How is that collaboration? Because you know, from it, you two always work.
Well, if you're gonna go and then I'll let him go. He taught me something. Because I was always attempting to be some big brother character. Taiwan, like, ain't nobody my big brother.
Ain't nobody punking nobody, Buddha.
The only big brother I got is my papa. And, you know, that's his father, you know. So I respected that. He played people with equal. He's straight Egyptian, straight African, straight Malian. He warrior style, Dogon. So his brain is thinking like we work as equality every single time. So he taught me this. He like, well, the only way I can get you to do this right, Marcellus, is if you change up the way that you normally do things. I'm sitting there like, oh no. I can't just go home and record it and give it back to you. Like,
oh no.
You have to practice, young man. You have to practice. Think about what Fat Nice taught you. Write your rhyme. Remember your rhyme. Dude, that dude had me remember all 14 songs or whatever, line for line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for the sake of how it was supposed to sound for what he was doing. He was working
the quality.
But it was just where he was working from. He was, you know, you talked about it recently. He was working from an underground bunker. So, you know, so he was switching between things and doing all. I'm like, yo, this dude got to make it happen. So, but he made it happen. But with that in mind, it was able to give me a different outlook on things. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, man, come on, man. You ain't got to move so fast. You can sit here and practice this song, man. It's good for you. You know, that's my monologue. That's my internal dialogue talking to myself. It's like always saying, you can do better. You can listen to people. You can respect somebody else's point of view. They can be right.
And everything, right?
Your ego is trash.
So basically, Ty was on some producer shit. You know what I mean?
Well, he produced the album, but he was kind of doing what you see in the producer MC records that you see nowadays. But he just wanted me to do it better than I normally record for myself. So when we recorded it and put it out, it would have a certain dynamic to it that I normally didn't have in the making of that. And that's kind of how I think we do the Coach Power 45 too, because everything he do, I do. That's the question you was asking. But I do it differently because I get to do it here, how I do stuff, but then he do it there. So that's the contrast of what you were asking.
And that's good, man. Yeah.
With it, I did what he wanted me to do. Because
we was in the same when we did it, we did that absolutely together.
Yep.
We was in the studio. I mean, those beats were getting made, those rhymes were getting recorded, those mixes were getting mixed. We'd go out, take some pictures, shoot some videos. I mean, it was outside on those. We made that record
in the hood.
I don't even know what the motivation
was. On O Block before
O Block was popping. Yo, get him.
Yeah, we was out there.
Dude, what last projects we were in? Like Taiwan, we were in like all the projects before they tore them down. The last ones. Yep.
We was out there, but you know. We from the crib, like it's nothing foreign. You know, we wasn't on nothing. Even like I was saying for that project, I don't even know what the motivation was. If there was a defined agenda, we just wanted
an opportunity to put it out on that label.
Domination. Because a lot of people don't know. Y'all see me in Infinito and we $100,000. When it didn't start like that day one, day zero.
You gotta go back to day one. Oh no, this dude. No, go on and say it. This guy up here said some things.
Brady Bunch, let me point to.
So, this guy over here, like we the Brady Bunch up here.
Point up there that way. Right up there.
But yeah, this one guy that y'all all know brought me over his house. That man was high as a kite, and y'all know I'm anti-high, like I'm anti-cursing, because I'm super black positive, you know. This so, but I'm not against getting high. I'm just against me getting high. You know,
right.
Yeah. It's been like that since day one.
Dude, you saw me when y'all had that bowl. Let me get a fake bowl. Y'all had that bowl. Dude, y'all had that bowl. Y'all was like this.
So I'm gonna have to pull out the Amsterdam story on them now.
We ain't going nowhere. No,
We're not going there. Okay.
Just
We stay away. We stay away.
No, we're gonna stay away from
We
that.
stay away. Okay.
But yeah, y'all do y'all thing. When we was over there, and the man was a little flighty right that day, and he didn't want me to blow it. He didn't. Don't come blow my high, Marcellus. We don't want you to blow high. I'm sitting there like. I blow high. That's what I do. Dude, many women I didn't dealt with at University of Memphis, etc. They are upset to this day. This guy blows highs, man. You're not supposed to be high. You're supposed to be high on life, not make tobacco.
Listen, it's been like that since this intensity, day one. Virgo, Scorpio.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He's the Scorpio.
Oh,
he got tired of it that day, and we was cool. I think we got the coolest at it when we made it. Yep.
You know what? And I think what it is, our energy, both of us are absolutely passionate. Like you said, we pretty much do the same thing. He's got different skill sets than I have, vice versa. But when we operate in our skill sets, we're trying to operate at our highest latitude possible. Period. And we don't live in borders. Like we both know the rules of whatever discipline we operating in, but we, you know, I say what I want. I give a fuck about the rules. He's just same way. He don't feel that way because I'm living life right now. Right. You can't measure that to somebody's litmus. You know, this is what's happening right now. So all I can do is push through it. If I'm extra passionate about something and I don't say it the right way and it's not so PC, so what? I'm here. And if I've slighted somebody as a man, I will correct my error and say if I've made a mistake, but I will stand on everything I say. So when we talk about, you know, Black dynamics, it's not to offend, it's to uplift and empower and educate. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that we've always had in common, that we both were always passionate about our culture, our kind. I mean, he's coined the phrase. Well, say it. Go ahead. Love yourself.
That ain't mine. I got it from somebody.
Love yourself. Love your kind. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we've gotten this far because we understand. We truly do understand how each other operates. We know how to give each other space. We know how to, because when you got two dynamic creatives, like he said, minus ego, we know how to work to get to the finish line minus ego. I might tweak some art, do something he don't like. He might do something I don't like. We go at it, but we both know the ultimate goal is to get to the finish line.
Absolutely.
Period. And if you look at our track record for not only our individual outputs, but collective outputs, we always get to the finish line and the product is impeccable.
You wouldn't want, like we did a record with Jason the Hater, and we had to hire a guy in South Africa to do the cover. Jason the Hater lives in Memphis.
All right.
I want to live in Chicago. I live on Mars. I live on Mars, you know.
Yeah.
You know I'm on Mars.
TBA.
serious.
But yeah, we had to connect all of those dots and make that record happen without flinching. And what city did we put on? Did we put Black Haven? Because I think Jason Haven from Black Haven.
Because he's from Black Haven, Memphis.
They call it the other color that's around this, that's in Wimby Warhol's background right there. But we're gonna call it Black Haven because that's how
word.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And Ty mentioned that you guys will pick countries and parts of Africa and stuff to represent where it was recorded at, or anything. You just label it, throw it on there, man. That's dope.
But that was the same point with the Black Haven. Yep. Just representing something or element that somebody wouldn't understand. So if the guy in South Africa get a copy, he got his copies, then he can say, "Dang, I'm representing Memphis by way of Chicago." That's crazy because the root of it is always going to be Chicago. Because my logic is that record row thing. The logic is Abner or whatever he was doing with VJ Records. You know what I mean? And the Lady Vivian. You know, I'm sitting there like, yeah, that was smart. The way that they put these labels together and they made sure it was black without trying to act black. They were doing race records because the other labels didn't want them. The white radio stations didn't play their music. So they made something out of nothing, as the black people would say. Like people judge that whole Booker T. Washington theory, pull yourself by your bootstraps. In that theory, Booker T. Washington was 100% accurate for that, because we do have to do that for that,
in that
reason.
context. Yeah.
But when you associating with them, it does become a conundrum or an impossibility at points. I get that, because then you have to tap dance to do that. We're not tap dancing, and nobody gonna play that game. And I'm not judging the tap dance
around here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. For real, Joe.
No shucking and jiving.
Joe, what up, Joe?
What up, Joe? Where I'm from, they say, "What's up, Joe?" Soldiers at war get to shout out because they got the orange.
There you go.
So that's another example of we use everything, because you saw soldiers at war all over the city. Like, man, I gotta be all over the city. Gotta be super black, son. I'm be on the corner selling my tape. Man, we already had CDs and tapes and stuff out, and they was just out there on that one area on Stony Island.
On Stony, yep. Slanging with the Muslims.
With the white, yeah, the Muslims over there, the Regal Theater over there. Did they ever
right on 79.
Man,
Yep.
what's up, Joe? Well, from they say, "What's up, Joe?"
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
So now, man, how many albums you have right now?
So listed for the people, like we were just talking about before the show started, keeping the track of it for a family to have some type of lineage of it or historical references.
Right.
That is different than what is presented. So what I document is what's presented. What's presented is like 220 something records.
That's dope.
100 of them is like Infinito. 100 something, like 110. But the other ones is like my dudes. Quasimodos. Yeah. You know, like George Benson and James Brown got aliases. I was like, yo, I'm gonna have an alias like James Brown. I'm gonna just come out of nowhere and just do some other stuff because James Brown did it. Like, I love black people so much, like James Brown or like Teddy Pendergrass or somebody like that. I'm like, I love what they do so much, because y'all know what he was doing with Harold Melvin. Them, he was playing the background. Sitting there like, dude, you the most bumping dude in the whole joint. You know what I mean? So my whole point is, you do it regardless. People come out regardless, and that's what I like. With the Big Mama Thornton with the Elvis Presley stuff, I didn't like that. I don't like to see somebody downplayed from their art to make somebody else stand out. So I ain't mean to go there.
No, you do it
with Warhol's background, but you know what But yeah,
that's the target for the night.
It's gonna happen. Get ready,
man. But yeah. Keep going. What's the question?
What was
No, hold on. He said 200 plus records.
Yeah, so
we need to let that breathe.
Now this is factual. I can validate at least well over half of those. 75% I can validate, and the rest the world can validate. So somebody's got like 70. Somebody's got a record.
Like 70. And I like them dudes, because them dudes used to be the one. Like I used to tell Taiwan about this guy in Estonia. He was trying to buy like old tapes for $300. I'm like, this dude's strange. I'm never gonna sell him this.
Are you breaking the world record?
No, I don't do it for that reason. I do it for the reason I just said, James Brown.
I know that, but I'm just asking. Are you breaking any type of numeric? Go ahead.
I'm gonna answer that question after I get done with it, because you giving me two questions now. So am I breaking a record? That's the other question. The records is just recording. When I first got the opportunity to record, I was like, yo, hit that record button. I remember one time I was recording so much, I couldn't dump the stuff fast enough. I had to go borrow a Dodge his digital 4-track to make sure I got the stuff sounding clean. Dude, I done been through the Memo one time. I'm like, Memo had a 4-track sitting on, like, Memo, let me hold that 4-track. You know, like, bro, man, like, I'm like, Memo, let me hold that 4-track for 2 weeks. And his 4-track was analog. A Dodge was digital. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't get around, dude. I didn't have everybody's stuff. I remember when I first met Jail. You know Jail from Anticon.
Right.
Yo, let me get that little mixer thing you got right there. Like, I'm always getting people, man, let me hold that. Let me hold. So the whole idea, why is that man laughing? Don't do it, Cosby. But so no, the simple and plain is just to record. That was the first thought, because you know when you young and you got a tape deck, 2 turntable, pause tape, pause, record tapes, and all that kind of stuff. I said I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of my life, so I might as well start documenting it properly. So when I first met DJ What and Mr. Scourge, Unorthodox Poet Society, we also met a brother named Dusty A. If you see on my tape, it's like a shout out to Dusty A because he passed away. And he was a good guy for us. And he met some people from Neris, from the Grammy people. And he was telling us he used to be like the Don, like Don Cartagena. He used to have it, but he was a Q dog. So he was a regular black dude from black schools, black college. So he was literally trying to keep us in the loop, but still trying to show us some business stuff too. Okay. Rest in peace to Dusty A. He passed away. This was in the early 90s. But he used to tell us stuff about organizing what we're doing, trying to have a better business model. So that's the version y'all got when y'all first met me. Like, y'all like, hey, dude, got 1,000 things. Because when I first met you, I already had like 5-6 tapes then. That was in the early 90s. But
that's what Pugs was on. He was like, dude, he just put out music. He just do it. He was like, all right.
It was Dusty A and Fat Nice, Fat Nice sitting there always rapping. I'm like, yo, but the Dusty A is what organized the thought, because there was no organized thought. I thought one day I would make a song and somebody will play it on WHBK like everybody else. That was the bottom line of making hip hop. But when you meet people that have a more professional attitude or amplitude to it, and they sitting there saying you got to do these type of things and try to get your music published, and people started teaching me about ASCAP and BMI and all this, I was like, man. And you start looking at like I said, the James Browns or the George Bensons, because these two people where I keep mentioning them, they got like the most, Aretha Franklin, they got the most Billboard hits ever. So I'm mentioning them on purpose because that was my mindset when I got to that point of, oh, you could really start organizing this stuff and make more out of it. And I was like, oh yeah. So that's when I started making vinyl. So right there between 97 and 99, I was just going to make vinyl. I said, dude, that'll kind of keep it. But I didn't have no beats. Like, man, you ain't got no beats. So I made my way back to Chicago, met the Molemen first, and I met Necrobat second. Necrobats welcomed me. We'll go to that story when y'all come, brother. You're one of them. That's like, okay. But we're gonna go back with them. So you had all of this weird access, Sub T, Beat Parlor, whatever open mic was available, I'm at it. You know what I mean? And I got in that, and I just kept recording. So y'all actually seeing somebody who a constant work in progress from like, I guess 95 to 2000, from 2000 to 2005, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just recording for the sake of the art. You know what I mean? And then understanding that, oh, this is, it might mean something in the long run. Because I think the first big thing I got to record was the Qualified Professional. The
shout out to Molemen
with the
Memo. Yep.
Shout out to Memo first, because Memo and Mixed Massacre. You got to say Mixed Massacre.
Mixed Massacre.
Man. Yeah. Because Mixed Massacre kind of like at that point was like Dusty A. He was like, listen, young grasshopper, you're doing it all wrong. He put it Taiwan. listen, you're doing this.
That was a journey to even get over there.
Man, what was we going, Taiwan? What was that at?
It was way up north. It was,
dude, it was like in the
it was by Fireside Bowl.
That's where it was. So we was in the Mexican neighborhood. So every time you walk down the block, they was at you like, what up, Paco? What up, son? And you sitting there like, Mixed Massacre already let him know, like, don't fuck with the 3 black dudes walking down the block every night. Don't fuck. He didn't do that. I don't know what he did, but they ain't never. Oops, I cursed.
And it's on documents.
It only took 19 seconds to come out.
1 hour. 1 hour.
1 hour later.
He said, don't mess with them.
Too late.
And, don't F with them. Whatever. And but just getting that organized way of recording and having a better reason to try to do it for, I guess, business reasons, and understanding publishing and understanding how to get shows and just growing into getting opportunities. What's the reason you saw me kept recording? Because you're going to record because you want to get played on the radio. It was more radio shows. It was more opportunities to get stuff circulated in the different hip hop site.
Right.
Underground hip hop. But you had those digital record stores in the early 90s that was kind of an access.
Yeah.
Access hip hop. Rhapsody and all them different
Access hip hop out in California.
Man. So every store you was just matching yourself with, like you saw Mystic Journeyman, you saw what Hyro was doing, you saw what the brothers Adams family or
Minnesota.
Def Jux or whoever do they thing. You sitting there like, yeah, man, we got to do more. Because if you're going to use that point, you got to take it all the way back up to Coach Power 45, because we was always underground, but we was always just doing it to kind of keep record of ourselves. But we was lovers of the art form.
Absolutely.
You had the raucous vinyls out and stuff. You like, man, to get there, you have to work. That's what we thought in Chicago. But in New York, what I learned, no, you just had to have a dope single.
Yeah, you just had to have access.
But we didn't have access. So I'm doing 200 records to get looked at by one of those people. You know what I mean? So to me, it's practice too. Because you can weigh it all. Some of it's people like, some of it people may not like. But for me, it's all just art. It was all just a creative output at the end of the day. Because you asked me at the beginning, was I paint? Dude, I was still in art school while I was doing all this. You know that.
Yeah.
So I'm painting 1,000 paintings while I'm doing 1,000 albums. And it was just, I'm always in that moment, that mode, that mentality. I don't think another way. I'm going to tell you another thing I do that's kind of interesting. I write. Like I'm always writing.
Okay.
I got like, I like women. Women have journals. I have journals too. I respect it because
he's showing off his sensitive side on word.
Clothed women,
As long as you're not Shannon Sharpen, we good.
But that to me, that's another level up because I started writing books from writing music.
Oh,
so
okay.
From the journals. The journals was first, and then your rhymes is in there, and then I started making, books, like literal books out of my rhymes.
Right.
And this is before anybody, everything that I do that you see, I've already done before you saw it. So whatever I do now, I don't even show no more. That's one thing I want to admit. I don't even show people what I do no more, but I be doing like little creative stuff. Like at work, I'll be sitting there, I'm gonna do this now. Well, I have 5 minutes, but yeah, it's like an ongoing thing. And it's all related to what we were saying about those people before us and loving the Black arts movement and loving Black art in general, but also documenting it like we was talking about with Jet and Ebony, or what James Brown did with King Records, or whoever, the Black people that worked at Stax and the Black people that worked at Chess, because we know those weren't Black labels, but they had Black artists. Right. But anything like Black Swan, that was Black. And that was jazz, but they even had to sell themselves to the establishment to get better distribution. Everybody's doing it for better distribution. I'm just doing it because I love myself. And I love the people. Man, dude. Come on, man.
Self-contained Black entrepreneurship. And
but when you're teaching it, it's different because it does have to have a reason. But for me, I will admit the reason is just self, just making sure you doing something to document yourself and keep up with what you thinking and having a clear mind. Because somebody was asking me one time about a book and they was asking me about this. They like, what were you thinking then? I said, oh, you just made me come to a self-actualization point, self-realization, self-reflection point. I kind of do things to clear myself out.
It's therapy.
Yeah, so it's a release most of the time. And that's why I asked, because your work ethic.
I know I took a long time to get that, and I use profanity, so please delete that out. Okay?
Nope. Document Blackness.
You in there.
Do you ever experience imposter syndrome?
Explain what you think that is.
What I think it is? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Do you ever feel like
I heard y'all talking about it? I don't like that.
You don't like
what you think it is.
It's when you feel like you're not what you actually are, or you don't feel like the level that you can reach is something that you have actually earned, or that you're there.
Never thought like that ever.
Okay.
One person I looked up to coming up was Michael Jordan. Like people judge him with his elitism and his separation, but I always liked his hunger, his self-esteem,
his drive.
But his self-esteem, he never downed himself. dude, I never looked down on myself one day of my life. One beautiful thing I liked about my father, he used to always be straight up and down, like, there's nothing better than Lovelace. Like, there's nothing. This dude really was feeling himself, and I didn't feel him. I didn't feel him like he felt himself, but I comprehended that you have to think higher of yourself than anybody else.
Oh, absolutely.
His was an air. Yeah. I think at some point you throw away the air part, because the air part, nobody is going to respect it. They always going to respect that humble human being, because you got a lot of these egotistical artists and they big on their head, right? But then they human self don't exist. Dude, I work with kids. I work with disadvantaged people and populations. You have to have some humble meekness to yourself every day if you helping somebody. Otherwise, you're not helping them. Humans go to these jobs to help themselves. They thirsty. That's wrong. Because if you go into the job and you only think about you, then you already lying.
So how did you and Pugs meet?
The same way me and you met. I met you first. Remember? I met you first, and I met, who was that before you? It was you. I met you first. You were the one. You stepped to me. Are we going there? Dude, Taiwan.
Take it. No, stop. Take it.
Wait, Taiwan. He
pull the curtain back and let him know the facts.
There's a story.
Stop playing games.
No, this dude, he called me up there. This is part of that 90s part when I was shifting back into Chicago, and I'm like everybody else. You just go to college. You just say, F it. I'm finna go to college at one of these schools downtown like everybody else. They all hip hop. They got their little baggy pants on, their little hat. Think they hip hop.
Little backpack.
They little hip hop guys. You want to be hip hop? I'm here. And you know me, Cosmo, I always look regular. Like, this dude is regular. Man. He's a regular black dude.
Regular black dude.
and Sam know, you know, and Pugsley know, I'm literally mocking the whole concept of it, but it's serious. It's legit. He literally
he's Seinfeld. Black Seinfeld.
The Black Seinfeld.
No, thank you, Abby. Please, no, don't do that. But yeah, you don't ever compare me to a white person.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Sorry, white people. No, not sorry, white people. Yeah, keep going. But yeah, don't use my reference. But I do got one. If y'all was gonna use the one thing, I did keep this one.
Go ahead.
The Dr.Manhattan and Magneto. So yeah, if you wanted to go there, because they did that. Because remember, I worked at the library, so I had all the teen books and I had all the comic books. So I knew. So I said, I know y'all not there yet, but I was like, yeah. They said, so Marcellus, if you were a character, which one would you be? I said, I'd be Dr. Manhattan. Dude, Cosmo, wait up, Cosmo. When I said it, wait, you gotta come back. Cosmo, when I said it, dude, like he shrunk. He was like, why would you say that? He said, you want to destroy us? I was like, I just don't see no reason to have you. Like, he was like, damn. So they go back to the point of my father. Like, I don't think he taught me, and my mother them taught me how to have low self-esteem. You know what I mean? And that's part of why you create regardless. Because if you got low self-esteem, you're not really gonna create. You're gonna judge everything you do. That's why I said I gave the points to Dusty A, and I gave the points to Art Free, or I gave it like DeRoe, or anybody that we got to bump into that's gonna tell us something about it. Hey, they probably right. Because guess what? I wouldn't know. Teach me. I'm definitely open to learn. Why? Like we was just talking about when I met you, we got to keep that thought. I was at college to learn.
Right. Same here.
So if I'm there to learn, show me. And we all can vouch for this. A lot of times people weren't there to teach you, and other peers weren't there to help you learn.
Yeah.
But you have to be committed to what you need to know and devout to yourself enough to learn regardless. Because I know in film class, in graphic design class, in painting class, they always strip you back down and tear you up to little shreds. And if you fall to them shreds, you will never make it.
Yeah. And you'll lose your self-esteem
and I never felt like that. Because even I'm gonna give y'all an example. In the drawing classes at Columbia, and I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, the two lions. I always got I like that. I like the museum. The museum was cool. But yeah, they would show you how to draw, and then you have to kind of follow their formula.
Right.
Y'all know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
This dude, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, dude. I could do figure drawing, like live figure drawing. I was real good at it. Like I still got all the drawings. Make the Warhol background drawings look like how they were supposed to look. But you know what I would do by the time I got through with Cosmo? I'm gonna be totally 100% honest with you. It's change it to a black person every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
This dude is not playing. Dude. Like, I know people be like looking at my art page, like, why do he draw so many black people? I'm like, what else am I supposed to draw? Like, you don't like yourself? Like, I'm gonna tell you this. I do not like people that don't like themselves. Meaning I don't dislike them like I have a reason, but I don't want that energy. You if you don't like it, why is somebody else gonna like it? Like we was talking about with Coach Power 45, people come to it a lot of times like down. I'm like, no, you good, you up. And our job is to keep lifting you up, but you got to grab yourself and go up too. Me and Taiwan have a lot of problems with people with that. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't think I was gonna say this, but why am I lifting you up and then you coming back down and I got to lift you back up? No,
Right, that's more work for you.
Come on, man. If because they only come to you because they know you positive and you got a good spirit and you uplifting, right? Why would you go back down after you just ruined my lesson?
Right.
And that's what I learned too in teaching. I'm like, they can't ruin my damn lesson. They ruin their own darn lesson because I'm not here to take away what I'm teaching because they don't want to learn, how to express themselves. Express yourself. I'm expressing with my full capabilities, but now I'm living in correctional facilities. I ain't mean to go there, but yeah, everything a rap song.
Do it good.
But yeah, man, those albums and all this stuff is created for that reason. The Meeting Cosmo outside of Columbia College.
Let's go.
Paid all that money to go to that school, man. Gracious of life. What were we thinking? What were we thinking?
The closest thing to the industry at the time for you.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Both
and it kept going higher and higher every fucking semester. But
man, dude.
Yeah, that shit was.
But we paid to go to this school. Like, Ambi is right. It was definitely a network. Because if we weren't there to network, we didn't realize that. Like, that's what I teach people who come in. I do enrollment stuff and admission stuff too. I say, you're going here for a reason. This is part of your business in your life. And what I comprehend too, I'm like, oh, you're more aware than some of the individuals that taught you that same thing. So you might as well tell these kids straight up and down, don't go here if you're not here to do the work and you're not here to network and you're not here to grow. Please don't go to school. Go to trade school. And even if you go to trade school, do the same thing. But even if you go work at, they got corporate McDonald's stuff. You could go into any of these industries and fields, or if you start an LLC and they got those umbrella programs that you could go to at the library for free and learn how to develop your business, go to it.
Go and do it.
But even if you don't got the esteem and you don't want to socialize, get on the internet and learn how to be involved in what you're doing. Because if you don't know it and you're not involved with it, what is the point? It's a contradiction. So we went to that school for those reasons.
We was in the school.
Right. We went to those schools for those reasons, and we didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. Back then, we was hanging out. You had the little backpack on. You're like, listen to these dudes freestyle, man. Look at these dudes, man. What are they doing, man? And then, so I will always freestyle. This is where I got the name from before we go there. DJ Watt gave me the name at an open mic in Memphis.
Infinito.
I was in college in Memphis.
Okay.
I was in college a long time. My father said he used to call me a lifetime student.
Word.
He used to know this guy who used to edit his paper. His brother passed away. He was a nice writer, the man, but he was kind of, he had problems in life. But he used to write his butt off. But I met the guy at that school at University of Memphis, DJ Watt, and he said, "You never stop freestyling when you rap." And he just started calling me that because he's a comic book dude. Y'all might have to have him on here with a black mask on. DJ What with a black mask, because he definitely not gonna show his black face.
You just gave up his culture.
No, I'm just saying, DJ What is black because
now he's a different black. He's a special kind.
No, he's a real black dude.
Real XO. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Aries.
Man, another Aries. Aries.
See?
But we from Mars though. We share Mars, Aries.
We just freestyling outside, and I'm like, well,
my bad. You don't want to hear my long week stories. Here we go.
He said go.
8 minutes. So I got the name Infinito from that, and when I got there, I was using it. You get what I'm saying? I was like, now I could use it for these people. I used it for the Taste of Chicago. I used it for everything in Chicago, the radio station. I'm like, yo, just keep freestyling. You're going to find your niche. You're going to find how these words go together, because it was just wordplay, atmosphere play, what's around you play, all of that game. I played all of that and the person. So what I got good at battling was destroying their image. You know what I mean? And then you start destroying everything about him. And that guy up there, he saw me doing it and he wanted some. The dude came in my face and he spit on me, Joe. He spit on me. I'm just saying, man. He battling. He spit on me, Joe. And that's what made me get him back. But he didn't spit. He didn't spit a lot. Prime spit a lot. I got dude. Come on, man. We don't do a little bit. But yeah, so those ciphers, those old ciphers around Columbia College were intense. Everybody was pretty much about the fight every time it was done. It was pretty good. And I like that because I didn't know none of them people. And they honored me for at least always getting going. You know, when you go and you could keep going and you don't fall short.
And that's what it was. I was like, dude, he won't stop.
My turn.
That's what happened. Like dudes have, you know when dudes they freestyle, they have the lines that they already premeditated, then they have the atmosphere around, then they lose the energy. I'm like, I'm watching this. Dude, Cosmo because we all learned like that. You do not lose the energy at that point. You're like, I'm not gonna lose the energy because I don't know which one of these people work for somewhere. We around this environment. I don't know which one of these dudes might help me get a better opportunity. I'm learning what networking was. Remember, I said I didn't know, but in those environments, you learned that's exactly what it was, and that's what we used it for. And you got better at that part of it. And me and you met like that, battling at the door, at the back
of Wabash.
Yep. So where was that chicken place? Harold's was right over there.
Right across. Yep.
Me and Cosmo was right there like
right
this.
On Wabash. If y'all know Columbia College is the side of Michigan, 600 South Michigan, and then there's the Wabash right behind it. So yeah, we was on the Wabash side. That's where we always kick those ciphers off. Me, Mike Check, Diamond, all these marks be outside.
I met Diamond first. She was the first person I met. And she hit me to everybody.
She the one who told me you was out. Some dude outside saying you the best there is. That's why I heard, and that's why I went out. I was like, well, who's the best?
No.
Cosmo was good, dude. I can't even lie. Because even after that, I think we were at this thing called Charybdis. Remember that? It was up in the warehouse, 2 floors. Okay. So the next battle was about at least a week or so after, or 2 weeks after, but we were at this thing called Charybdis, and me and Soul Child was there because that was my roadie from back in Memphis, because he was going to Columbia too. Just happened, everybody going to Columbia. He happened to come. His father was from Chicago too, like mine, so we was just jumping around because that's what black people do. We just travel and migrate. But yeah, he came up there and he had a show at Charybdis. Y'all came up there and y'all was freestyling at Charybdis. And that you said you did one of them moves, like on one of them old B Street movies. You was like, yo, this dude. That's what he told me. and no, I know who it was. It was Pugsley. That's when I first met Pugsley, Rift, and you. Y'all came and cypher bullied me. They came and cypher bullied me, Taiwan. I got him. And Phil was like, get him, dog, get him. I was at all of them. I was at them, boy. But they was good. The boy had,
I remember.
Pugsley had good off the dome.
Yeah.
The guy Riff had good stuff that he had already memorized, and Cosmo was doing the same stuff he was doing outside. It was consistent. And I was like, these dudes are good. Because this is the one thing I said to you before when you asked me a question about something on another level. I said, a lot of people had talked bad about y'all before I ever met y'all, and y'all was cool to me, and I didn't even know y'all.
Right.
I was like, that's bad. And I never liked that about when people do that. They down people and you don't even know them. Like, people like,
well, that's reputation. He probably got dissed and battled and
intimidation.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was. But you know me.
Ego bruised.
Dude. Yeah. But I'm not that human being.
Right.
There's
a lot of those stories. There's a lot of them stories about pugs. Motherfuckers hated pugs, but love me. You know, you hear all these motherfucking weird ass stories. But hey,
I didn't pass.
Ass.
But I'm gonna say this: I didn't pass no judgment. Y'all invited, like you was like, "Yo, you're with us." Pugsley was like, "Yo, you're with us." Y'all was the two, and I said, "Okay, I guess I'm with you guys." And that's what it was. Next thing you know, I was at Burger King with y'all. Hey, we're at Burger King with fat bubble gooses on, guys. No, Cosmo, I was like, my old butt up here with these young bucks up in here, Joe. What am I gonna do?
He got jumped in.
Yeah, you got jumped in, man. And
it was like a weird phone call. Dude called me and was like, "Yeah, man, come hang out with us." Blah blah blah. And next thing you know, that's all it was. So and I'm gonna say this for that part. Like I told you on another story, I said I wish more of that was kind of, you know, given to the people so they could see that. They never got to see that. Like people could see just the camaraderie of the individuals.
Yeah, the emergence.
Because what was the name of that college up there up north? It was East something.
Not Northeastern.
Northeastern. Thank you.
With who was up there? Elevation. Elevation and Verbal and all them.
Right.
And I think Juice performed and
Rhyme Fest.
Kanye West.
You talking about that show?
Yeah. And Pugsley then performed, and I saw my man Chips perform, and they all perform. I said, "Yo, these dudes is kind of cool." Yo.
Was that Souls of Mischief show?
Probably.
That was the Souls of Mischief show.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I met them all like that, like scattered moments in time, and it was interesting because those were the last young men days of that. Before the next level, we was like 2001, 2, 3. We was older. You know what I mean? So we was yep. Yeah.
So where did the 2017 come from?
Wow. So in 2000. They had the 2012 stuff. I was like, "Ooh, you got to come up with something, dude. You got to get to a point because your black butt haven't graduated school. Your black butt haven't done this. Your black butt haven't done that." So to me, it was just a goal setter.
Okay.
So by the 17, by 15, 16, 17, I set a lot of goals. One of the only goals I didn't set was having a child and, you know, getting married and nothing like that. Because I thought, this is what I thought of that. If I'm going to add that to 17, I thought that should be along the same line of how we do music and I do art. I always looked at me doing art like communal, not necessarily like we saw Minds Over Violent Existence communal, but like I should be all natural with mine. No pun intended, but it should be kind of like this woman and this child, man, Joe.
Yeah.
And then I had a little kid. And I'm rapping still, or I'm doing art still, and the kid on my back, yo, if you know what is my son, you know, and then that didn't happen.
I understand where you come.
So that didn't happen. So, you know, I take that because that would the little junior would be 20 now. You know, it didn't happen. You know,
he got them nephews though.
I got a lot of nephews. I'm the new nephew of Frank. Rest in peace to Frank.
Rest in peace,
my uncle. Another Aries. Yeah, he passed away. Nephew of Frank Records.
Damn,
so
Aries.
That's another thing. If you're going to ask me a question, everything that I do is an acknowledgement to my family. If people didn't recognize it,
right? That's real.
Damn, dude.
Gotta let it breathe.
Yeah. You gotta let it settle down after that. Like, ooh.
Making all those records kind of go right along with that too, because then you like, man. Like I was telling y'all on the side note. Why, and this for anybody listening to this, y'all should make sure that your family is invested or involved with whatever you're doing in that loving way. If it ain't loving way, I can understand why you wouldn't put them in it. But if you got a good group or y'all strong bond, you should add them to that for business reasons, because you don't want to pass away and then they don't have a connection to what you do or understand what you do. Because a lot of us do stuff And they like, what is he doing? I don't know what this is. My Uncle Joe, because I had another label. Y'all know that. So Joe Left Hand Records.
Joe Left Hand.
Yep.
So my father said this one day. I was talking to my father. He said, "You just like your Uncle Joe, a left hand Scorpio, and you talk too much." That's what he said. I said,
Damn.
"Yeah." I said, "Yeah."
He said received.
you hear me? You hear me, Ambi? I said, "Yeah." Joe Left Hand Records. That's
ill.
Dude, they should stop bothering me. Cosmo, don't come at me, Lovelace. I'm using it, son. He tried to get me. You know, my father.
They
He's
can't
a Virgo
beat us.
like that guy.
Nah.
And now he tried to get me. I was like, no,
Can't beat
Lovelace.
us.
I got you, Lovelace. You gonna try to diss Joe? You gonna diss Joe? I got you. So
That's living mathematics in action.
Dude,
You taking
come
real
on, man.
experiences and incorporating them into your art.
My man Truth Universal told me that. He from New Orleans. He said, "Man, you got to tell the stories of all this stuff." I said, "No, I don't. They'll learn." He's like, "No, they won't. You have to tell them."
Wait a minute, when you said no, they will learn. How was they gonna learn if you didn't tell them?
I'm telling them now, Ambi. Come on.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
I never looked at life like I should go tell a story to nobody. You know, if somebody go, no, maybe it'll happen on a interview or a documentary or something. You know
Someone
what I mean?
else.
Yeah, not me.
Nah, not now though. Nah.
Because it's fraudulent. That's one thing I learned too. You don't want to be fake. You just be natural.
Fraudulent.
Yeah. So,
but if nobody want to pull it out, nobody want to pull it out from you, you got to pull it out from yourself.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's something you learn when you get wisdom. You know, because the goal ain't to just spill it all because it's personal. It's vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the actions, like I said, again, it's therapeutic.
But it's expression nevertheless, so
true.
But it's
the
like
expression is where it becomes triggered by external stimuli. Somebody
exactly,
is there, they're open, they're interested. Now it's gonna come out naturally. I get what you're saying.
And that's what you just said. It's a literal real life thing. Like my uncles I'm the reincarnation of these dudes. I literally be like looking up to them. They were my source, like they were the guide for me. My father and my uncles. Like women always say this, they'll say something on the side. Yeah, and men don't be having no male role. Man, you crazy. I had like 50 male role models. Please.
Right.
I only know how to be a man and do things in a manly way for whatever that means on all aspects of whatever that's supposed to mean, because they taught you how to be gentlemanly. They taught you how to be respectful. They taught you, like y'all got that one curse word because of that. Oops.
No, but you human too, so it's okay.
No, man, because that's part of it. That's part of it. If I'm to be consistent, I cannot do that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Fair.
The human part, you're 100% accurate, and I respect myself for that. But I made a mistake. That was a mistake.
Yeah, we'll just chalk it up. They brought back that other side from the past.
No, those first records, the first 7 records I made, I used to curse on those. But after some point in time, when I was getting on the radio and stuff, I was like, do not curse. Because they won't be able to. Because then this is what I taught myself. I said, you ain't got to worry about editing it. And it was the same thing Rakim said, the same thing. I said, oh, man, that's cool.
That's true.
Yep. So
that's true. All right. So I think you said a lot. You got to unpack a whole bunch. And listen, the shipment has not even arrived. Yeah. Yeah, we still looking at what we still looking at the tracking number right now.
Yeah.
Y'all got to understand that, so everybody listening out here, a lot of times you look at some of the Chicago artists that you might have heard about, their names might have been whispered, in conversations. There's a lot of folklore to a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? And the only way we can dispel the folklore is to parade ourselves and let you know what goes on behind the curtain. It's not for validation. It's just to let you know we are human. We exist. There's no difference between us and y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people helped us get to where we got. Like, we shouting out people. We shout out Mixed Massacre, shout out Ogun. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Ogun.
Because we're going to talk about film. Like Ogun was shooting with a 7D before I was shooting with a Canon 550. And I was like, I gotta come at Ogun. He killing it. But he was killing it.
Respect
And he put a light, he lit a fire under me and made me want to come out my box because I was shooting film.
Bolex.
Like actual film.
Bolex. Yep.
8mm Yashica.
Right.
So that digital era, we went to art school.
We
all
Yeah.
of us here went to art
all
school.
of us. All of us.
You know what I'm saying? So how we function, it's a lot.
And that's one aspect because when it comes to shooting and all that shit, we was outside, bro. Like,
we was outside before they was outside.
Yeah, they was outside before they was outside.
We want to go inside sometime. These fools.
Sunday, I'll get a call. Hey, yo, what you doing? We outside. We gonna shoot.
Yep.
Come and
and we shot everywhere.
We shot everywhere.
We didn't have
guerrilla, straight
guerrilla style.
Yeah.
No, I remember when I shot Black Chicago, I had Cosmo with me. And when I made Music with Sound Right Reason, I had Riff with me. So Riff was shooting all my photographs. And when I made that Black Chicago video, Cosmo, we kept jumping out the car on every block. I got every block that was in that song. Yep, because it was a black. I had to get the Black Chicago.
Yep. Yeah.
So think about it.
In each block and shooting the
scene. I mean, we was out there at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, like
oh, dude.
The way that we have been creating art. I mean, nothing has changed. You know, cats is older, you know, wiser, but I don't see, like, when it comes to that guerrilla aspect, that's all we've ever known.
Right.
You know, all of our accolades are necessities that were created. It was something that was birthed out of necessity.
Right.
Not having
you know
it. Like I went to the art school and my minor was film. That's when I graduated and finally got done after being a full-time student. The minor on the paper says film. And it says communication. Because you get all these credits and this stuff just
fine and applied arts.
But yeah, I learned how to use all of that equipment at the school. That's what I used to tell. I tell kids now, I'm like, that's another part of the networking. They got the resource.
Right.
And if you don't know how to tie in with the professors and the administration, you failed. You definitely failed, because I could go up to any one of those people and ask them, can I borrow this camera? Can I borrow this room? Can I do this? Because not only are you learning to give back to your work, you also able to use the resources to your own benefit. Bam. Absolutely. So you doing your work for school, and now you get to use the technology.
The technology of the times. Because
you're learning all this at the same time and sharing. It's just an exchange of creativity.
Right.
And this coming from the same people that was like college dropouts, pretty much did not want to be there. You literally going every semester to not go back. Like, man, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford to go back. They got me. They got me on the financial aid. They said I didn't do well, man. I don't know. Like,
off to the city colleges you go.
Man, stop it. Don't do that one.
No refund checks for you. No refund check.
Dude.
Hello, Mr. Washington.
Dude, too many stories. So the two Lions School, the last straw I had there at the School of Art, best school I ever went to, I must admit, School of the Art Institute of Chicago, they had everything you would need for school. I went, I had the scholarship. Next thing you know, didn't have a scholarship no more. Then all the money went away, and they gave me one of those financial aid packages. The lady wrote in there, she said, we got your job working at FedEx as part of your payment. I said, no, you don't. I'm not coming back to this school. I cannot take my check for my rent to pay to go to this school too.
Right.
So that's why I had to leave that school, and I went back to the University of Memphis.
With that Memphis address, though, you got to give them the facts.
What happened with the Memphis?
With the Memphis address to get the Memphis funding.
Oh no, because I had my grandmother live down there. Man, that's 100.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to know how to finagle it.
They got to know how to work it.
They got to know how to wiggle.
Now it take a year. It took 6 months, so the turnover was 6 months. You know, I didn't necessarily need to have. Now you have to have a Tennessee driver's license. I had.
Now they need more documentation.
So I was like Derrick Rose. You know, I was like Derrick Rose.
Use moving.
I might get benched. I might get shipped out of here. Who knows what's gonna happen?
But he got put out of school because they said he didn't pass one of those tests. So whatever.
Who, Derrick Rose?
Look at him now.
Man.
I love that man too. I love his story because it's like ours. It's so genuine. Like everybody in Chicago, no matter what level, everybody's story it's like a genuine reality of like, dang, look at what they went through to get to this little point.
To make
like
it there.
That other little end part to the Joe left hand thing, he was a baker. He had his own bakery.
Oh.
And when he passed away, he was sitting in an elderly home in Toledo, Ohio. He wasn't even in Chicago no more. And what made me kind of just represent him, because didn't nobody know, he was just oblivious. His wife left him. He was just there alone. And you know how you die sitting alone. I just said, man, I told my brother on my father's side, I said, I got to do something to represent this dude. Joe Left Hand Records too. So besides the left hand part, it was the, leaving something to show that this dude he was a baker. Oh, and in his little room that he had at the home, he had a keyboard. I didn't know he played music. He was like one of those, oh yeah, man.
Okay.
So, and he got like these stack of tapes. I got the tapes. Now listen, I've never listened to him to this second, but I got the Joe catalog. Joe. I got the Joe catalog. So
today's episode is called Legacy.
Man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. I don't know if I'm about to go, but yeah. I voted today, That's what they
You early voted?
No, I'm lying.
Okay, so crazy.
Right, man, dude.
Okay, I said that's all you needed was that one, huh? You in the bowl.
Yeah, that's the tiebreaker.
Yo, you collect action figures and shit too, right?
Yes, I do. And I'm not bringing them out.
You saw me bring them out.
Yeah.
So next time, then you can set it all up.
You have a show just for that. Don't have me bring that. It take a lot of effort. It do.
Okay.
So you know what? So let's go back behind the scenes of the creativity. So because I know a lot behind the curtain. So let's say you did film, photography, visual art, written art, as an author and an MC. How about producing beats? What's your take on that?
He was saying like all of the albums, those are the other albums. So I probably have 4 aliases and like 2 other groups. The other alias groups are kind of something similar to what we were saying. Like if James Brown had to make something under another moniker because he was, I just did.
Either your King Ghidorahs.
Right. Man. Him and George Clinton.
Dude. So those producers, one of them was my original name was the MCML.
MCML.
My original self. That was my original rap name, MCML. Me and my cousin Sean, who passed away. Man, all these people passed away. We had a group called LDP. Lamont and Daryl's Posse. My middle name. All these names. We was Lamont and Daryl's Posse. And then MCML Lamont,
Yeah.
MC. Yeah, I got
you. Though that became one of my producers when I didn't have DJ What anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make him a producer. And then I created another producer from that. And that's the other tapes and CDs that are not listed with the 200. So if you list everything, it's like 1,100 and something, because I have this stack of CDs that have all of this stuff on it, but I don't even know what it is because it's just songs. You know how you just
you just put them out, you just download them.
Yep. And then my original tapes, they're not turned into digital, so they're just old tapes. Yeah. Yep. And as you get up in age, I'm only 23 now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Biggest lie I've ever told today. I'm not 23.
You were born in 2017.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, now that I'm up in age, I'm sitting there looking back at time like, dang, man, you didn't put the. So with the tape, you got to be careful. So I have to go in there and be careful. Like if you play it, it may not, it might break. Like some of this stuff real now. Yep. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff under the aliases. So I think if the people who sell you out on the internet, the Wikipedias and the Spotify's, they're tied together. I don't tie it together because I just do it. Like at some point, it became what it was when it originally happened. It's just to do. It's just a joy type of thing. It's like, oh, this feel good. you will see brother L working on a certain piece of equipment, or my man Radius working on, like, man, that would be cool to learn how to work that piece of equipment. At Taiwan House, he had, what's the name of that program you and DJ What used that you had on your
Audition? Cool Edit Pro?
No, the beat making program.
The beat making pro Reason?
I said, man, if I had this, I ain't got it. Because they had to buy it. So once they had to buy it, I couldn't get it.
Nah, I had the crack version for you, but I think at that point,
it was over.
They was cracking down on all that.
I was on his computer in that studio one day. I said, man, I'm gonna make like 8 beats. I didn't make the 8 beats because he came and interrupted.
Right, but yeah.
No, he did. He do this thing where he get to talking to you about everything. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, the building. That's the building.
Dude, I'm building.
Gotta build.
But since I build with
him,
wait, I've already built with him 100 times. I just wanted to use recent.
Secretly, I was like, yo, them drums need some love.
That's what he was trying to show me. I was like, I don't want to learn. I just want to make something. Let me make it. And that's part of it, Cosmo. A lot of it I just make. You get what I'm saying?
You don't worry about it. You don't worry about all the details and the fine polish.
Technicalities.
It's raw.
Doing it.
Dude, I emailed Bob Power one day. He haven't emailed me back, but that's what you're for, Bob Power. If you ever want to holler at me.
Straight up.
No, I emailed him. He had a whole website. I said, Bob Power. Y'all know Bob Power, you there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, he like, no.
He said, nah, not for you. He said, I don't know you. Hell no.
When he told me no, Taiwan, this fool told me no. But yeah, I thought a mix should go through somebody else. That's what I always
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then
you remember do you remember? Taiwan said he don't remember the House of Blues show.
Nah, I blacked out. I don't remember a lot of shows, yeah.
Because remember, I had the little date and she was over there hanging out with De La Soul. I'm like, why are you over there? And I said, listen, you can. No, I had to remember Cosmo, I pulled it to the side. I said, listen, dude, she had a whole Michelob in her hand. Y'all know I don't drink. I'm like, she got
what are you doing?
She hanging out with Maceo.
Trying to get shows.
Yeah, Maceo was the only one out there, right?
I said, you gotta go back in the audience. She had the little wristband. I said, let's go stand over there.
Maceo, what goes on? I don't know. Babies, they be bugging.
That was the Lovelace Rent-A-Car days. Those Avis specials, boy. You give me them, dude. I have whatever brand new they had, boy.
Not the Saturn thing.
Bending blocks on these, boy. Dude, we done travel all the way from Lakeshore Drive to the west side, K-Town, in like 20 and 30 minutes in them cars. Like, dude, we was gone.
You was flying.
Dude. Man, on Lakeshore Drive, because you can't speed on Lakeshore Drive.
Nah.
But you'll make it to the T. Like, we had some adventures.
Because you could cut off right there on that little loop and get around to the west side. Next thing you know, you right there by the United Center. So you like, okay, I'm halfway there. You could take the street, or you could keep going and go down something.
Man, dude. So
I think he gonna be hooping this year. I think on Dallas.
He in Dallas now.
He gonna be wide open.
Okay.
Because he gonna be getting them shot PJ Washington got and the other dude. He wide open. Yep.
He ain't gonna have to run around at all. He could just stay in his spot.
And if he get in one of them zones, they just gonna let him go off. Kyrie and dude ain't gonna be able to do nothing because it seems like Kyrie can't create his shot like he used to. I'm a junkie. Yeah.
I see.
That's good. You come and do the sports talk and shit. Cause like what are you just what team
are you just
going
basketball
for?
or you also other sports?
It depends. Like if you tell me to watch baseball to figure it out, I will. Cause that was Lovelace's pastime. So I know it, but I don't.
But you don't watch it.
It's slow. It'll be football, basketball, and football.
Okay.
So you watching the Bears right now?
Oh yes.
Okay.
You like the new team?
I don't know. I think they might be slow. I think they could be potentially slow. They could be a team that's literally like 8. They can win 8 games or they can win 5 games. That's how far they are. Because if Caleb, because you know the speed of the game, if he don't catch up, he could literally fall short.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like
can see
what
that.
Justin Fields, like everybody thinks Justin Fields could get it, but Justin Fields haven't caught up to the game yet. That's what these guys be missing. Like they always look at the other quarterbacks, the ambi background quarterbacks. Like they say, oh, they get him the credit. But I'm like, y'all saw, what's his name? Josh Allen, the guy on the Bills. Like you saw him in preseason, it looked regular, but you saw the last few games. He didn't win all his games. You get what I'm saying? It's like he's a bigger quarterback. He's more mobile. He could do everything he needs to do. Justin Fields should know how to do the same thing for what he's worth. Now, the boy Caleb should have the Dak Prescott package. He should. Because for his size and his quote unquote ability, but we cannot project on no human being because what you really dealing with, what I learned is they heart and they passion and they real drive. And
How
that's
far they
what a lot
willing
of
to
these
go.
dudes fall short at. Yep. They be good. Like look at Antonio Brown. Like, hey, this is a cold athlete, but something new. A screw is loose. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yep. So that's what I look at. Y'all know I look at the personality and the people. Because look at Tua. Tua Tagovailoa should not be playing football, period, because of how fragile he is as a human being. That's dangerous. That man barely touched him, and he had a concussion. That's dangerous.
That is dangerous. That is dangerous. Who you rooting for on the basketball side?
For this year? You know I'm going to go with my slaw first, even though they trying to get the old boy off Duke. They trying to get that shooting guard off Duke. What's the white boy name from Duke?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I don't know.
I was just talking to somebody about this too.
He was trying to tank to get him, quote unquote. And I also think the Bulls are attempting to trade Zach LaVine to the Lakers for
who?
With D'Angelo Russell. Don't nobody want him. That's the problem. So that was the trade. Last. Okay, I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. There you go.
Bill.
Okay. Now I was gonna say we is in the future for real with two of them. We got variants of Infinito now.
No, Rui Hachimura, you know, the little power forward on the Lakers, and D'Angelo Russell. This is the only package they got, and they'll throw like Vanderbilt in there. And they'll try to get that for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is a big budget player if he's on the right team.
Right.
Like if you stick him on that Knicks, look at that Knicks team. That Knicks team is elite. With Brunson, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
They got OG Anunoby, and they still have Randolph. They got all them players. They could trade Randolph right now for somebody.
So you definitely know this sports.
Oh man, it's what I do, man.
I see. That's your relief. That's your weed. That's your cursing.
No,
he said that's weed.
The weed is running.
He said I don't know vice.
So they got these shoes. Like I look at running shoes now. I'm like, yo, they got these joints called them hookahs. I know Taiwan saw them. Like, yo, them joints like
ugly shoes.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, dude,
they super ugly. They super comfortable.
Who they buy?
No, the ambi backgrounds out there running with me.
That's them. That's them new and improved.
You better holler at them slaps.
Man, that's them. The Matt Andrews.
Them thick joints, boy. They ain't gonna twist your ankle while you out there.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, I know the ones you talking about. Yeah. I just had to think about the way they spell.
Of running, because you like, oh, you need some tight joints because either you got some New Balance, you know, the good New Balances they cost $100, not the little $58 joints.
Nah, those motherfuckers like Sauconys.
Come on, man, you can't be in them weak point them Asics.
Tigers.
Dude, I bought some Asics thinking, okay, they say
you about
Asics,
to run. Nope.
I get the Asics gels, baby.
Or like every shoe, Puma, all of them. I be tearing, I be busting.
Well, look at your terrain is different. You running through the wilderness.
The rock.
You're on Mars.
Right.
Yeah, I need some hookahs. That's what I'm saying. They look like the ones.
They look like the old nurse walkers.
You need some nurse walkers out there. Well,
you need some Matt Andrews, boy. With
you don't.
The biscuit bottoms. Kai's got them size 14 Matt Andys.
Nope, they had no Matt Andys because you.
I should have saved them bad boys.
Yeah, those motherfuckers.
If you slip, it's a wrap.
You're gonna slide all the way down the mountain.
Man, dude. So what I wear, which is awkward, I wear Antetokounmpos. They got grip.
Okay.
They got good grip. They got good balance. Because I've been through about 5 pair of running shoes. I've destroyed them in 5 and 6 months, literally.
Do you miss Chicago?
Wow. He just asked a deep question. Let me go back, pull my mic up close to me. I apologize for that part. So I think about Chicago almost every day. Like I think about my grandmother every day. I think about my father every day. I think about Frank every day. I think about Chicago and Ross. Y'all know my cousin.
Yeah.
Ross live in Colorado now. So
shout out to Ross, man.
But I think about Chicago like that. That's why I'm saying all that. I think about it like a memory.
It's a deep part of you.
Man. So it's Roseland first, because you get through that part first, because that's where we from. I'm from 117th. And you get there. My mother usually stopped at that A&P corned beef joint.
Oh, yeah.
That's her spot, because that's where we was down the hill, either there or 112th. So we stayed on both 17th all the way down to the other end. But
donuts.
that donuts was down the street. We used to walk there. Yep.
Yeah.
So I missed that Chicago. Last time when I lived there, I actually worked in that area where, because me and Taiwan are pretty much in the same vicinity. The same vicinity. I'm from 117th, he from 95th. So that I worked at Abbott Park right there before I left.
Okay.
And I worked at Brainerd Park up there back going towards Evergreen.
That's where I used to go to summer camp.
You know Chicago. You know Chicago, buddy. You know the cuts. You know the cuts. So I'm in the cut in Chicago, and that's what I miss. I miss all of that blackness.
The real Chicago.
Dude. So I don't, when I go, let's say one of y'all with me, you're gonna be like, dang, dude just bending blocks. He just seeing stuff. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not ever gonna go there and be like trying to kick it and hang out, and I'm gonna just see things because it's like a memory now.
Yeah.
But it's a memory, I'm gonna be honest, because my father, and when he passed, I said, man, I don't want to be out here no more.
Yeah.
It's too much nostalgia.
Overload.
It's touching. You know what I mean? Because he lived on every side. Like
so there's
this
a memory.
dude used to live in North Lake and Melrose Park. And he was a hundreds dude. When he passed away, he was by, what is that little area called where the Chicago Fire play? He stayed right there in that little town right there.
That's not Tinley.
No. I'll tell y'all, it's gonna hit my brain in a second. But he stayed over there for you. I'm like, dang, you done been all over this joint on the other side of Midway Airport. I'm saying, so we've been in 83rd. We've been Cosmo. Remember when we was on Exchange in the hood? I was in the hood, and then we was in South Shore. So we was in both terror towns on both sides of it. And my little black self, you know how us B-boy people be, we don't really care about all of that stuff.
Yeah, we don't care about your locations and all that gangbanging shit.
You ain't gonna do nothing to me.
You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm walking through here. Come on. Commence back to your regularly scheduled program once I'm out of here.
Carry on.
I miss my regular black Chicago. That used to be beautiful. Getting the little French fries at the little Jewtown type joints, the last standing ones. Those little pink cookies.
The original ones.
Y'all know them little pink cookies, the little. Like I can't eat them. I can't eat them no more. For the last 6 years, I've been straight like vegan.
Okay.
But before that, I was like sneaking vegan. So you could sneak some milk because those cookies got milk in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't eat those no more. And you know what else I like? The Edmonds crunch cake. Like
for sure.
Got eggs in it. It got eggs in it. So like you said, the dead donuts.
There's no vegan substitutes that you indulge in.
Dude, I just give up. I've literally given up. Like I eat vegetables and fruit. Like
literally just vegetables and fruit.
Not only, but I eat me some fake hamburger joints. You know,
like the Beyond Burgers and all that.
Yeah,
it is what it is. You throw one of them things on the grill, man. You do what you gotta do on the grill, man. I'm nice on the grill, B. I'm nice on the grill, B.
You don't put the portobello on the grill and throw the mushrooms on the grill.
I've done the portobello on the skillet. I've done it on the skillet, but not on the grill.
Do it on the
grill, boy.
Do it with some foil if you don't feel comfortable.
Throw them beats
I have to do for you with the fake vegan burgers because they're gonna go through the joint anyway. So you always got foil on there. Black folks. chicken poke for you. You're like, man, you just poke the little pokes in there.
Yeah, post little holes in there, like you do with
How
the
you
fish when you
feel?
put them in.
Hey, how you feel about Farmer Ty over here, Farmer Dave?
Oh man,
Farmer time.
Hey, you know what? I ain't even show y'all, man. I pulled my first stalk of corn today, yo.
What?
after all these years.
No, just for the season.
You
I got
Funny.
mad corn. Let me see if the
Can we
camera
get that to
catch.
focus there?
children of-
Oh, there it is.
that's real.
Oh, that's healthy too. That's a nice full
crazy.
That's
one.
real.
Oh,
That's
it
right.
was the most delicious corn, yo. Straight
I
up
bet.
and down. I'm like, yo.
Wow.
This dude, camera man, his
So this-
camera got powers. Did y'all
You see that? Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
changed focus on something that was
Man,
that close.
Yeah. that
Man,
was
I
dope.
don't focus on the manual.
I can see the milkiness in the corn.
See the Milky Way, man.
Dr. Diaspora.
Yo.
So now
So-
we know some succotash next time we come over there.
Hey, that's old school. Succotash with some
Yeah.
okra. Some
Yep.
okras.
Some
Now,
okras.
okra is disgusting if you just eat
I don't
it
like
without
okra.
frying it. Yeah,
You gotta do it right.
fry
You gotta do it right.
But wait, don't listen to these folks. You just gotta burn it up. Burn it up.
Stop.
That's what
No.
I do. I just burn it up. If you burn it up, it'll take away that little ugly
The
stuff.
slime.
Slime shit.
It's like, oh,
But if you
man,
burn it up, do you
Slime
want to
shit,
eat it?
man.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Because I'm
man.
a stir fry master now. You
Oh,
got.
I got you. I see what you're
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because think
Alright.
about it. How many different meals am I gonna eat if I don't? So I've created everything out of vegetables and
That
stuff.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I've actually learned how to make the vegan burgers with like beets.
With the food processor,
Yeah. So
throw some
beets and
cornmeal in there
oats.
too.
Yep, not cornmeal because it's too heavy.
Okay,
So just oats. I use
Just
oats.
oats.
Yep.
Yeah. Them beets is
Mushrooms.
fantastic.
The mushrooms make it taste good.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. I'm going.
And when you go on fried, it take a little longer to get it to be right because it's not processed. But you got to
Mhm.
go on fried for 10 minutes. 'cause
Man,
Yeah, we gonna
Shout
get
out.
all these cooks on the show with Poe.
On the real, yeah.
shout out to FP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Infinite Perpetual, the chef.
P.
Shout out to
chef.
Nairobi, the
Yeah.
chef.
The chef.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to E Brown, the chef.
chef.
You know what I'm saying? Like we do these things.
It's real.
We creators, we live good, we eat good, we trying to maintain our temples. We're trying
that's
to
the
be
main
old.
reason I do it too. Because you deteriorate and you've seen
Yeah,
so
man.
many people just deteriorate.
Just
You're
out of
like,
nowhere,
"Man,
just
dude,
That's
gone.
true.
And this is the other side of
Major
it.
health scares.
The culture always
Only health
we
scare.
watching the people lacking their livelihood. Like we watching so many of our legends passing away. People who still
Just
have
this
things
month
to give.
alone was a good number.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was
We
solid.
just
this
lost
month.
3
Yeah.
within a 2-week span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So definitely eat healthy, y'all. Be healthy.
But
Jog.
you have
get
to
your
be
hookahs.
but you have to be mentally healthy because if you're not doing nothing like with all that cardio and all that running and stuff to clear your brain and you
Mhm.
still think negative, it kind of
Mhm. It's
come
going
back.
to,
It's yep.
because the negativity is the problem.
blood
You know what I
pressure.
mean?
That's where
High
the
blood
toxin
pressure,
is.
Yeah.
cancer, you
Yes.
know, all
Yes,
of the
you need to
above
feed
that's
off of it.
inner,
Yeah,
all that
yep.
inner shit is because the negativity, is because
Right.
the
Gotta be
anger,
positive.
because the hatred. You got to be positive and you
That's
got to
the one
bring that
thing
light and flip it inside out, boy.
But I feel like that for the Coach Crowd 45 stuff too. I
Mm.
always looked at these people as a positive help. Like you're just helping people. Like I used to want to help everybody. Like if people had to stop me from helping people because they'd be like, yo, he may not be the one. I'd be like, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Nobody gonna help this cat. Nobody gonna help him. Because you
He
can
may,
tell
he
the
may
way-
not be the one, but he may be the vessel to pass that on to somebody else.
never know.
Or just the fact that you're helping. you
But
know
this
what
what I
mean?
learned too. I don't know if this is a bad thing, but I've literally helped people and gave them information and then they used it for themselves and they didn't even say thank you. I don't like that. I think that's wrong. Say thank you, man.
Appreciate
If people don't say thank you to you,
Cats don't know how to be
Thankful.
appreciative and
Yeah.
thankful. We're in a different era, man.
They
Yeah.
thirsty. They be like leeches out there. You
they
give
have
them
an
advice.
entitlement.
No, all I did was I told them to go to disc makers. I said,
Mhm.
go to disc makers. You know, I gave them the whole rundown of how to do it. And then I said, go to disc makers. They took it as if that wasn't advice, but they used it. I'm sitting there like, what you use?
Until they had to fill out the form and put their sample clearances on there. Like, oh,
Then it's like, uh-oh.
this is different.
Whoops.
Because they've got that look. You can't find that other place that don't,
Nah,
you know, yeah.
This is
But
different.
the good part back in the day, like Rainbow and United and stuff like that, because Rainbow was in California, United was in Nashville, Archer in Detroit. So I've used all of those, and those cats was all good.
Yeah.
Remember the guy in Shepherdsville, Kentucky?
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
Like we met. Remember the one guy we had to deal with in Brooklyn, and the dude messed the records up, and then he sent us the whole record all over again. That's how we got the green Lost Cargo.
You talking about for Lost Cargo?
Dude,
yeah,
that was
the
a
green one and the black one.
We pressed those records.
Oh, that's how that is. It was a bad batch.
It wasn't bad. It
wasn't
just
bad.
was wrong.
It was wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted green records with red labels.
Oh, so you just kept the originals.
He sent us white labels. I'm like,
quality control. We want what we say we want.
No,
there is no compromise. This is not even get what you pay for. This is what we said. This is what we want. There is no compromise. Not even get what that's what it says. Not get what you pay for. No, this is what the fuck I want.
It says it on the paper.
This was the order executed.
This was the order, and you messed up. He said we just got the pressing and we didn't think about it. He fixed it. He just fixed it and sent it on the house. So,
but you know what? When you're dealing with business like that, and for black folks, a lot of times they downplay us. They don't expect us to know, or they might feel like they could come back and give you less, and you're just gonna eat it and say, "Oh, well, it's no problem." No, this is what we want. Treat me like white folks.
Right. Yeah.
I know. I see him spin when I know
it. I know
heavy background, man.
But you know what I mean?
Slaps up there.
He had to pause himself.
Slaps, look how I'm cheesing. I don't want to do this.
Go in, man. Fuck it. Go in, man. Go in.
Look, afford me the same courtesy you would afford those who you respect.
Yeah.
That's the PC version.
That's the point.
Right.
And y'all left out that night with the video in Chinatown, and it was like 8 below 0, 10 below 0. Dude, we was
what, the linebackers video?
Y'all shot 2 videos right there.
Oh, you talking about when I did
Get Your Weight Up?
Get Your Weight Up. It was
Get Your Weight Up. It was freezing.
We were tweaking.
Well, we had 2 screens. It was dope.
It was dope. I still got the files. I'll be telling this I could give it to him if you want.
And then everybody got to say so. We shot that in Chinatown. We didn't shot videos on cameras before they was like heavy. Before you was really using your phone. For a camera,
we had the little buggy joints. Yeah,
we didn't shot on.
We didn't give a fuck.
You can name it. Nah.
Yeah. I love that.
That's how you learn. That's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Like I teach the kids in the programs or schools. I'm like, you just have to go be gorilla. Like Taiwan was saying earlier, if you're not gorilla, you're not learning anything. No. If you cannot take your phone and create a product out of your phone is a waste of time.
If you can only make quality product on quality equipment, you are not a quality artist.
Yes, talk to him, Davis. Talk to him.
That's one of the lessons I learned overseas, man. Remember that shit.
Let's say, like painting something.
Okay.
Like I remember I did my thesis for I think it was my bachelor's degree, but everything I used was found on the streets of Memphis.
Oh.
Every piece of, I literally drove around and found.
What they call it, repurposed?
It was recycled, Black Negro. But yeah, I took.
What's up with that Jiffy box in the background?
Same point. But, you know, I can't eat it because it got lard in it, but it say vegetarian. And it still got lard in it.
But here, that was that hustle. That's when they was doing that with a lot of stuff. Like when was cornbread not vegetarian in the first place by definition?
Hey,
because you still have to put eggs in it. But y'all know what I do to make it? I just put applesauce. My substitute
applesauce.
Yeah, so
you need a binder.
Yep. Yeah, I knew somebody that did that with like making like these brownies. So they were doing vegan brownies and they would add applesauce to it.
They could use avocado. I haven't done it, but I want to try it because avocado I like that. That's some good stuff.
Consistency of applesauce could bake and all that.
Yep.
Well, it's mixed in with like flour and other stuff too.
Interesting.
Try it.
But it was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to chef it up, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Put it on the menu.
Yeah. Put that shit on the menu. So yeah, man. Infinito, thank you for fucking
I would
being here, bro.
like for this to be cohesive though. And I apologize for the one profane word. And I did say damn. Okay.
He said it twice now.
No, that means I said it like 4 times because but when I said that other one, I said, man, boy, you slipping. Like there one with the BDP, you're slipping.
Yeah. So man,
we for the bill.
Thank you for the bill. Yeah, man. And you're definitely fly nerd. You family.
Yeah, you're definitely intelligent black man.
So, intelligent black man. You're always invited. This ain't the last of Infinito 2017.
Nah, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that was interesting with the Bears and the Steelers. We was just I didn't even, sometimes you just have that moment like, wow, oh yeah, that's what.
But see, that's the fly nerd shit. You tap into some of the nerd, you know what I mean? And that's why we here. So you could tell your story and then you can nerd out on your shit.
On the shit you enjoy because other people both that gives that balance for people who need that bridge to understand you because they can relate to that, then they pull into the rest. Or they can relate to the blackness, then they pull into that.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of us have it, like our Mixed Massacre post office. My family grew up in the post office. It was like everybody that we all connected with, everybody has something familiar that we've all done. Like I think it was things when I spoke to Cosmo mother that was connected, talking to Taiwan wife that was connected. If I got to know you, it was like all this black stuff be like one and the same. It's pretty dope. I like it. And I think we have to be our own resource, not selling ourselves. We're not.
I agree.
We're not nothing to sell. Like, why do we got to sell everything into a TV show or some type of thing to monetize off of? Just be. It's beautiful. Yeah,
we gotta trust each other, man.
But if you don't like yourself, you can't trust yourself. Like most people got to go to that bed and wake up.
Tell that shit to the real people.
Man.
No one's.
That's why I asked about that imposter syndrome earlier, because
that's why I had to make sure what you meant, because I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I love myself. Like for that reason, just for the pure raw reason, and I like all the flaws and the mess up. Like when it's dirty and rugged, like you got to accept it. That's a part of you.
That's a part of what makes you original. That's like, your unique traits. That's your fingerprint.
Y'all got me rambling again. We got to stop. But I pulled out a book, but I know in the book, I put the mistake in there to show people why I got the idea from.
Interesting.
Because when you draw and when you paint or when you write, and tell me when y'all don't write all them little notes and all that little weird.
Hell yeah, it'd be like the whole play. Yeah.
When you have like your rhymes and they got like, oh, say that 4 times. You wrote it 4 times on there with
and little notes.
But all that, I look at the John Coltrane's or Miles Davis's or Sun Ra's, and you look at their books and you're like, yeah, man, everybody have to record their stories because our lineage is important. These people are trying to eliminate us from existence. We got to care about ourselves without anything. It might be one little black kid left on earth. He kept a record of something. It could be one little Spanish speaking kid or whatever, but you got to have a record of yourself in this world that matters to the next group of people. Because if you think about people, they don't have no reference to anything when they talking or when they doing things. Nothing connects to anything. Everything should have some weird connection to it.
Right. And that's the synergy that we always build it from me, and you to Ty, what I mean?
That's what we was talking about. Yep.
It's the same synergy, man.
Yep.
And it's Chicago shit, homegrown, man. We've been outside since day one. We've been the real niggas in Paris since day one. We've been the real.
Dude, we was out in them Paris streets like we owned it, man.
Yeah, man.
We was like in them little weird towns. Like people was like, like dudes just running around like. You remember the dude was chasing us?
We in Loud, France and shit.
Was chasing us for the thing, Joe. Oops.
What?
Remember he was chasing us?
You talking about in Paris?
We weren't in Paris.
Wait, when we was getting chased.
You was in Marseille or something?
Before we got with the driver.
That was in Lille.
That was in.
And I left my hat. Yeah. Yep.
That was in the north of France before we went down to.
Here go Taiwan. Cosmo. Here go Taiwan.
Oh wait, no, you talk about Nancy.
Oh, we was in
that's Nancy. Okay,
we had to get little. We had to get little quick.
I remember that.
Wait, what happened?
We were the $80 million man. We weren't this, dude, we were the $80 million man.
Yeah, that one ain't no statute of limitations ain't expired on that one yet. We that's that one later. But we had to get Little and Nancy friends.
The fools in ATN want the box. Like we had a lot of things. And me and Cosmo, like, man, just me and Cosmo. Taiwan was talking to the dude trying to, we like, me, don't do, man. Swear up. We was like, yo, man, They was looking like, yo, wait, hold up.
Everybody was gonna fight on that tour, and crazy. The tour was called Personal Conflict. And all three of us was about to square somebody, lay them flat out. You know.
It didn't matter.
Because I had the Amsterdam, remember the dude.
I know, that's why I ain't saying nothing. I'm glad you can. Man, that brother, that brother, man, he get hot, man. He get hot under the collar.
I'm glad he never went to Scribble Jam.
Remember Cosmo, we was outside. We was like, yo, what's going on with dude?
Y'all didn't even know.
He rushed in there. He had to save his buddy. And I'm like, yeah. Nobody else tried nothing. We got you. Taiwan, we got you. But that's we're gonna leave it right there. We're not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, we keep it at that. But,
I was about to fold somebody's pants.
Man, but the good part about that, we all can admit this, and this is what I'm talking about. Like when you get to a certain maturity, you don't act like that no more.
Nah, you don't have to.
Nah. But it was definitely an experience.
Yes.
Learned a lot coming back. You know, it was a culture shock. You know what I mean? It's about food, about health, it's about creativity, photography, all types of shit, man. We was out there filming movies and shit.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like every day.
World.
Even if we wasn't filming, we was documenting.
Thing, y'all.
Yeah.
This guy got a whole thing. He got a whole thing, y'all.
I got the
I'll be on his case. I'll be on his case. Because I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm on this case for the same reason we was talking about the VJ records and Stacks or whoever, because this man got to use that stuff, man. Documentation, man, got stuff, man. He got stuff, man. I'll let your boy, man. Your man,
he got a lot of.
You don't know this.
He got a lot of
you
shit,
don't know
man. Mr. Galaxy got.
No, he had the camera rolling. We had the camera rolling, like it was
from
rolling.
Us riding the trains, from us traveling from spot to spot, from us doing the shows. From us, everything, man. Everything.
And the one thing that I can say, if anybody try to reinterpret it, you're not black enough to be this black in those places, dude. We was up in Belgium. We were black. We were like, look at them Negroes right there. Send them back to the Congo. We like, no, we're fighting for the Congo. We're here. This is ours.
We came to get our just due, man. Call Leopold up. Tell him to come out. Tell him to get outside.
Dude, do 70 million. 1884 revisit.
Little baby Leopold. Where little baby Leopold at? Tell your grandfather to come back.
No, because that's where the drive started. Like, I'm like, dude, why are you up here? Dude, like, I want to snap on dude so bad. Like, if we're going to that part of France, why are we by Belgium?
Right.
We was in Belgium.
Yeah.
No, we were in wherever that college was.
We crossed borders. We
didn't have to go to Belgium. That's what I was tripping over.
We had to do the drop off before we went down.
Oh, he did have to go do the drop off, but
we was in Central France, right before Lyon and Saint Etienne.
Ambi, we passed by France, Disney World. Like, what is this?
Like, where y'all going?
Right.
Where are we going? We was like, it took 8 hours in a car.
Yeah, in the car, crunched up.
No, that definitely is not. It's not that big.
But it was an experience, and I
with the driver
recommend kids and people go experience life. Like a young cat was telling me, and I was telling Taiwan about the young cat wanting to get his passport. Go do it. Just go somewhere.
Get your passport. That's
just go somewhere and don't care. And I told a lady at work the other day. I said she was saying she never been nowhere. I said nope, just get it and go. Don't even care. Even if you go to Mexico, because over here by Mars, where I'm at, Mexico might be a little close. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Over there by Mars.
By Mars. Similar terrain.
Hey, remember the Shaolin beat maker?
Oh no.
Shaolin beat maker.
Let's talk about
it. Dude kept saying it like, dude, why do you keep saying your name?
Because he was a Shaolin beat maker.
You're not a part of Wu-Tang. Stop lying.
Yes, I am.
Wasn't that show on a boat? Didn't we do that show on a boat?
Or was he in France? Wait,
No, we was on a boat on that show.
Leo was the boat.
That was saying it. Wait a minute. That was
Leo was the boat.
No. Leo was not a boat. The boat was either in Lyon.
Okay, the bill was Lyon. My bad. The boat was Lyon.
Yeah, the boat was in Lyon.
I remember the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the boat.
So I thought the Shaolin Beatmaker was on the street though.
He was on
the street.
Yeah, he was on the street.
Because you know why?
Because we was with him and DJ Nelson, dude.
There you go. Yep.
Kill Bill.
Yeah,
it was the same night. It was the same
Yeah.
night you shot the video, and we was like, this dude out here making all this noise, and all the people was asleep. Remember, we was out there. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
Yeah, 3.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yep.
But you was getting the reflections off the pebbles in the road.
We was getting them shots.
Yeah, them shots. That's why I told y'all he got them shots. He got shots. Like France.
Yeah.
If y'all need some historical footage, $89,000 cash on
pounds.
He got it.
Yeah,
so
we got
y'all
them
tore down
files.
some of them buildings. He got some of y'all footage. Hit him up, and I'll take 2% of whatever you give him. Because y'all gotta pay for what you did to the corporation.
Right.
Look at slaps.
I'm taxing niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush.
Hey, it's
Nah,
real,
man.
though.
But we learn so much, as black men, of course, about ourselves out there in different countries, how you perceive our bond strengthened. I mean, we was out there playing bocce.
Right.
I was like, I was locked in. I was on.
Yeah.
Like we was out there wilding out, but you know what?
We was playing pro bocce.
What we were able, right? Straight up,
we was waking up drinking wine, eating.
You made me drink the wine, Andy.
Yeah.
What?
We have bottles.
My life. They tried to kill me, man.
This was your first time?
My whole face was swollen. It just felt hot.
We took him to the cafe, to the coffee shop.
My face was warm. I was
like, what were you drinking?
Heavy. I never felt
wine,
like
white wine.
No, it was red wine.
It was red wine.
It was red. It was dark red. Because we kept pouring it in the cup. They was like, have more. And they kept laughing. They kept laughing, Empty. They was like, have some bread. They was giving me little bread. The man had a big, long ass loaf of bread.
They had a social experiment.
For another person. Claps. He had that big, long loaf of bread. Remember, he poured up in the bike. Dude, he poured it on the plate with the wine in the bread. I got bread. I have wine.
Damn. You was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Dude, it was weird. It was like, you know what? We were ATL before they did that whole. Yeah. Did y'all see that when they was overseas?
Oh yeah, Atlanta.
That's how we were.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that.
Yeah,
you sure are right.
You're right.
But you know what?
Out there,
we ain't had no problem. Like we could have had a lot of problems.
There we go. Thank you for filtering that.
We could have had a whole lot of I'm talking across nations problems. Like we need to go to the embassy.
Yes. We thought we had to go to the embassy. We thought we had to go.
We was so outside over there.
Yes.
I think people just looked at us like they just out here doing amazing things.
Yep.
Leave them alone. You know,
they ain't on that. They ain't bother nobody. And
that translate back at home, bro. Yep. You know what I mean? That translate back at the crib. We gorilla. We outside. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We ain't robbing nobody, selling no drugs.
Ain't gonna hurt nobody out there on the floor.
Because I'm gonna tell you this: the way we was out in Amsterdam, I don't recommend. As a person who got lots of Amsterdam stripes, I don't recommend you play outside like that. How we was playing outside like that.
Heed the warning.
Straight up. Amsterdam will sneak up on you.
Yeah, it's a wild place.
Teach you a whole new lesson.
The cameras and stuff. Don't do nothing in Amsterdam, y'all, because they got cameras and phones and stuff. People be watching you. Yeah. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Like you don't want to be there in Amsterdam.
And you don't speak no Dutch or no German. Or no hybrid mix of the
whatever the hell they doing. Yep.
There are many sub-dialects.
So yeah, man, with my brothers, we traveled, we explored, we conquered. We from the States to the fucking overseas. You know what I mean? And we continue doing this shit, man.
And we wow hundreds. Like even if we in DC, Philly, or Amsterdam,
that's
or
the problem.
DC was dope.
That's why I had to stop. I had to, but don't go there. Don't go there, slaps. Don't go there, slaps. Don't go there, slaps. Just calm down. Calm
DC got
hey.
Yeah, DC is nice.
Maryland is, you get tickets in Maryland.
No, that's Delaware.
No, it was Maryland.
Speeding tickets.
Remember, mail was going pretty fast in Maryland.
It's Delaware, yo.
We was in Delaware at night.
Nah,
we was in Maryland in the daytime.
I'm still on DC, man. But anyway,
DC was nice.
Y'all in 3 different states.
He has beautiful things.
we did a lot of shows, man, together, and we didn't gain so many experiences. We don't have to rehearse.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like we could go rock a show right now.
Right. Yeah.
The chemistry is flawless.
This is where all that work shit come from. It's like this was natural shit. You know what I mean? From shooting outside on a Sunday to going doing shows, 4 shows a night.
Mm-hmm.
It was a part of that. You know what I mean? Like this is all truth. It's all lineage.
The House of Blues. The House of Blues was good. That was a good day. I liked that day.
So you remember the show? You remember the speakers and all that?
We was on both speakers. It was 2 speakers. Me and you was on. Then we was up there. We was dancing on the speakers. Those speakers was 50 feet tall. We was up there like we owned the joint.
Yes, sir.
Dude, and I kept thinking like, okay, if you fall back, can you grab that little curtain thing back there? Like, but you didn't care about that. You just was on the speaker. I don't know how we got down. You just got down.
I don't even remember none of that.
I wasn't gonna jump in that audience because those, you know how Chicago people.
I didn't want to.
Hardwood floor in the House of Blues. You like, I don't want to hit that.
I don't want all that. I don't want that on the record.
Let touchdown jump over there.
I just jump off the stage. I ain't fucking with y'all like that. But Metro shows, tons of shows.
A lot of times.
What's your favorite venue to rip in the city?
Yeah,
because we didn't rip all of them.
Y'all know which one, man. You know, you can see it in my.
Metro?
No.
House of Blues?
No, it's the little joint.
Something?
It's the little
joint. Don't say house.
House?
Oh, man. Not because of the incident.
No. It feels more intimate. I like
it. Pipe bomb.
The Metro would be second. House of Blues got the best sound in the whole world of that city.
They stayed super big.
Man.
Super big.
But the thing with it, with the House of Blues, the part that we kind of miss is it was so many of us and we was just hyped. You know what I mean? That's probably why you don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that part is sort of a blur, the performance part, because we was just in the zone and we was happy to be up there with De La Soul. And that was amazing. Like, dude, we got to meet them dudes. They was just like how they are. Hey, how you doing? Sorry you can't get through. Why don't you name and that's how he looked at us. Pastor New was just like, nope. Not today, young buddies. He was like, hey, yes, you are Pastor News. You are 2222. Because what didn't he give us the number? Maceo, if he could work. He gave me the phone number because I said, yo, I got this record. We was talking about Eclipse. And we was talking about Fat Beats.
He actually gave you the 222.
He gave me a phone. I said, this dude gave me the 222. I was like, yes, I'm this guy.
But you know what? After we ripped, though, it was different.
It was different.
Yeah. It was different. It was like, oh, okay. Let's have an intermission. Let's not just go on immediately.
But I'm gonna say this for any other people coming up: when you're doing stuff like that, network. Just like I was saying about children going to college or people doing anything, I'm like an enrollment counselor too. Got to talk to people. You have to be professional, and you have to speak like you got some sense. You know how your mama tell you before you leave out, act like you got some sense, and that's how you have to act. People don't even know what that means. They think acting like you got sense is acting like a ambi background.
Ooh, minus melanin.
That's not acting like you got sense. You could still be black and half soul and get things done because other black folks is good. Black folks gonna recognize you. They are
because they don't act like they got sense. They just facade. They mask.
Yeah, you right. But whatever it is, act like you got some sense. I'm being serious.
Act like you got some things.
Just be mature. Just mature up.
But I'm gonna tell you, I learned this from elementary schools. It's like
I see you.
It's a certain level of maturity that people don't have. You have to have maturity to get to maturity. Like, if your people don't teach you how to develop and all that stuff, they kind of grow up in the world. People be the same way from the time they 10 years old to when they 25. Then they 25 and 35, they acting the same way. But
yeah, there's a psychologist that said people peaking, like the people peaked in high school or in a certain point, and they never achieved anything past that point. So, for example, the men are chasing, like Al Bundy, they chasing that high school football moment where they scored the touchdown and everybody cheered their name. And then the women are cheering, oh, they was the prom queen, and they got all the attention, and everybody was looking at them like they was something, and they chasing that high through their adulthood because they never did anything else.
But that's why I'm gonna close out on this. Every day is an achievement.
Yeah.
Right.
Every moment you live should be a good moment.
Every breath.
And I'm gonna say I learned that from people passing away and the walking every day. Because walking every day, your brain can just get clear. You're like, well, my feet hurt and my knees hurt because of the work, not because they're in pain, but it's every day. It's not sometime. And the push-ups, like I said, I'll fall asleep early. I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing push-ups. That don't feel good. Not the muscle part, but the effort part. So you got to push yourself. And if you forget a lot of this nonsense, that's what I tell the kids when they act up. I'm like, I'm not bothering you for what you did an hour ago. You're bothered by it because your ego won't let it go. I'm good. Let it go. That's me. Peace. 7,102.
Let's go. So man. Thank you for definitely dropping all these gems, man. It's a lot of clips. So man. You're always welcome again, man. Infinito 2017.
Tell me what my job is and where they send the little checks. Is it Vimo, PayPal? How do I get paid? For the sports show. I'll be up there.
All right, let's go.
This is not a slight. This is not a slight. And be just not a slight.
No.
But I'm the black. I'm the black Greg Gumble.
What I tell you, they thought it was just me with the blacks. Listen,
nope,
it's for real. It's a hidden language.
Bryant? Are you gonna be Bryant or Greg? Like which one? Which brother are you gonna be?
Greg.
The Black Greg.
The Black Greg. Yo, thank you. This is WFNG Fly Nerd Radio. I am Slapface Galactus.
And I am the full ghetto alchemist, Ambi Warhol.
I am the infected Dr. Diaspora Dave Galaxy up in here.
Infinito 7102. Thank you all for having me, and I appreciate it. And I hope what I said can make sense to somebody and it's organized. Thank you all. Respect.
There it is.
Respect. Salute. We are the Fly Nerd Group. WFNG tuning out. Thank you.
What you see is what you get.
WFNG.
Fly nerds. You see it and say it. Yeah. You see black excellence and intelligence we now combine. Fly nerds on the verge of connecting the minds. North, south, east, west over digital lines. Catalogs of the culture inside. Seen it with our own eyes. We done been through the trends and phases. The names and the legacy, the changing faces. We can't talk shop, only dealing the truth. You tuning in to the Fly Nerd Group, so let the people's in. Yeah.
WFNG.
FNG.
Fly Nerd Radio.
Yeah. So let the people in.
WFNG. Fly Nerd Radio.